Oh, hey. What's going on? One more. Dr. Max in the chat, as I spill coffee on my hand. God, come on. I swear to God, I spill coffee. I'm disheveled. Dr. Max in the chat writes the following. Today, Sid's sitting with Azzo, eating hot dogs, getting ready for the show, definitely leading with Jays, right? Of course. Breaking news. Berube got fired. Vladdy, you got lucky. Till the next day, Vladdy. It's true. Vladdy was the guy celebrating sack flies last night. We were going to have a long Blue Jay discussion today. And listen, we still may. Odds are slim. We still might. But Vladdy and the Jays and John Schneider and his face, you're lucky. Things changed today. Different tone. Stuff's happening. Hit the opening, Azzo.
For the audio, or you can even watch back, giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion, going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion, going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back, giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K, 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 S-I-C-K.
All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick.
You are now listening to The Sid Seixeiro Show. Powered by Sick Media, the sickest Toronto sports show. Now, here's your host, Sid.
What's up? Woo! We got some things on the menu today. It's Sid Seixeiro Show, powered by Sick Media. Live on X, live on YouTube, live on Facebook. It is Wednesday, May the 13th. To everyone listening to the audio pod, we appreciate you. This is a unique day. Unique day. I have to be honest about a couple of things. The first thing is, and I got this a lot this morning, the Toronto Maple Leafs fired Craig Berube at around 9:30 a.m. Eastern. And I got this from several people. And the comment went as followed. Boy, the Leafs just messed up your day. You know, they could have at least done this last night. They could have done this yesterday afternoon. Let me explain something to a lot of people. I love this kind of day more than any type of day. You know why? Because I've already done the work to prepare. This is the fun stuff. And I'm not like making fun of a guy being fired. I was fired recently. Not a great day for Craig Berube. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm saying is, as content creators, Jeff Azzopardi, Sick Media, myself, a lot of people in this town, breaking news is the fun stuff. And you get exposed in this business if that scares you. To any young broadcaster or content creator or would-be content creator out there, you need to understand that. This is why you do it. Moments like today. If anyone in this business is scared to hear that the Leafs just fired their head coach and their job is to create content, the door is there, man. Find something else to do with your life. If you don't know how to react to something like this, you haven't been following the Leafs, get out of the city. This is the good stuff in terms of content. So if you want to get into this business in any way, standard with TSN Sportsnet, you want to start your own pod, you want to join Sick Media, all the other companies out there, up to you. But if you found yourself nervous about this in any way today and you create content, I'm not talking about you're on a show and everything comes to you. I'm talking about like if you're someone else. This is not for you then. Because this is the day you want to be in. These are the moments you want to have a mic in front of you or a camera or both. So great to talk to you all and see you all today. The other thing is, last Monday, and I'm not afraid to say this on a mic, is basically the first time I've heard John Chayka speak with his mouth. He's been this like mysterious character in hockey history for me because no one cares about Arizona. But now he was there in the flesh being insulted by Steve Simmons. And after hearing the press conference and hearing him with Kipper and Bourne and hearing him with Overdrive, and then he scrummed after the press conference last Monday at Real Sports, once all the noise from the interns died down from the second level at Real Sports, I had one prevailing thought. I'm like, this guy's just going to kick everything down the road, man. None of the heavy lifting that the Toronto Maple Leafs should be doing will be done. Lo and behold, 9 days later, John Chayka and super number one advisor Matt Sundin pull the trigger on Craig Berube, who was told this morning, following long conversations over the weekend here in Toronto, that he's gone. Craig Berube, no longer head coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, before we get into the weeds a bit more on this, I do want to take 1 second and acknowledge one thing with Craig Berube. Damn, did he want to be head coach of this team? Okay? He was elated as you're going to see Craig Berube publicly. He was elated when he got the job. But then a few months back, the number one example of how much he wanted to be a part of this team, this guy had 50 stitches in his head. And he missed 0 games. 0 games. That's how much Craig Berube wanted to be the head coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Do you know what would happen to this show if I got 50 stitches anywhere? It becomes the Jeff Azzopardi show powered by Sick Media with better numbers. Less hair, better numbers. That's how much Berube wanted to coach this team. And I'm seeing people have a field day with this online. The hashtag Berube out line was just flying last night. So for all of you enjoying this, I'm not enjoying this. Because I was let go not that long ago. People who giggle at other folks who've lost their jobs are too young and stupid to have experienced that in their life. That's why you giggle. But for those of you giggling that the Leafs have done this, fill your boots. I'm not going to change your mind either way. But Asso, throw that picture back up if you can. Have you in your life had this type of professional determination? In your life, for anything outside of Fortnite for 7 straight hours, have you had this type of determination to work your job? Because Craig Berube did. And for the record, still don't know what happened there. Don't know how he lost the fight with a barbell. But he missed 0 games after looking like Frankenstein. That's how much he wanted to be head coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs. So just from that standpoint, that level of determination, I respect the man. I do. And thank you, Craig, for that level of determination. If only your team acted the same way. My God, this was February. I still can't believe he did this. I still can't believe it. Now, what he couldn't stitch up was the defense. What Berube couldn't stitch up, aside from his head, was how his team couldn't forecheck. What he couldn't stitch up was some of the roster decisions that he himself made, let us remember. And it all led to this moment. And I need to kind of let people in behind the curtain a bit. And this isn't always the case, but you've been following sports enough. You know it's the case. There's 2 types of press releases when a coach or a GM gets fired. There's one press release where it has quotes from everyone about how they're a great person and all the best to them, like multiple people. And there's the other press release where it's like a paragraph, where no one was really that annoyed to see the move made. Which press release do you think the Leafs sent out today? It was short as hell. And for those watching on YouTube, X, and Facebook, that is it. For the listening audience, 3 paragraphs, and calling 2 of the 3 paragraphs is being generous. So the first line is John Chayka. No mention of Matt Sundin, by the way. John Chayka is announcing that the team is parting ways with Craig Berube, who has 2 years left on his deal, $4.5 million per year. So this is the line from John Chayka. Craig is a tremendous coach and an even better person. This decision is more reflective of an organizational shift. I'm going to read that again. This decision is more reflective of an organizational shift and an opportunity for a fresh start than it is an evaluation of Craig. We are grateful for his leadership, professionalism, and commitment to the Maple Leafs organization and wish Craig and his family nothing but the best moving forward. Last line of this very short press release reads as follows. The club's next head coach will determine the makeup of the remainder of the coaching staff. So Steve Sullivan somewhere is like, you're telling me there's a chance. You're telling me there's a chance. So that was the news that dropped at around 9:30 a.m. this morning. Press conference is scheduled for 15 minutes from now. So let's walk you through what we're planning here on the show, because running live video copyright-wise for us is tricky. We can't do it. So Azzo and I will go scrum surfing around 1 p.m. Eastern today, full scrum and news conference with John Chayka. So our friends at the SICK media offices in Montreal are going to help us out with this. The second we have the entire thing in our system, we're going to walk you through it like we normally would. We'll stop when appropriate, and we'll go from there. I'm assuming this is just Chayka who will be conducting the presser. If I'm Keith Pelly, might want to sit this one out. Take a break from the press conferences. Based on what I heard from Matt Sundini, has nothing to offer anyway, in terms of quotes. So Matt's, you can just go have a coffee on this one as well. John Chayka wants the smoke. Let him take all the smoke. So that's today, and we're going to walk you through all of that. That is the plan. Technically, gremlins in the system could throw a wrench in that plan, but we will try our best to do that for you here on the Sid Seixeiro Show, powered by Sick. Someone asked me if I was surprised that Craig Berube got fired. I know a lot of people are saying they weren't. I was. A guy with 2 years left on his deal in this city. There's a precedent for keeping a guy like that. And on top of that, a lot of pretty smart hockey insiders were definitely nudging you in that direction. And it's people I trust. I know insiders being dunked on left and right. Guys, I got news for you. They don't read your stuff. Don't worry about it. Believe me. They don't read your stuff. But I think to suggest this isn't a bit of a surprise in the market, considering the discourse, I think is incorrect. I don't think it's the right thing to say. I was a little surprised. This is the tougher of the two moves, is letting him go. Now let's focus on Berube. This firing is 1,000% justified. 1,000% justified. Goaltending saved him last season, or now 2 seasons ago, when they won the division. Not level of goaltending. Who knows what that season would have looked like for the Toronto Maple Leafs? Maybe Marner would have accepted a trade to Carolina at the deadline. Who knows? But the first season of Berube in town was goaltending. That was the story. And last year, he completely lost the plot. He completely lost the plot. William Nylander wasn't scared of him. I don't really know what John Tavares thinks. And Morgan Riley came back after being talked to sternly after the first Berube season. He came back and was the worst we've ever seen him. The worst. And also, if you live by the Calle Yarncroke, you die by the Calle Yarncroke. Craig Berube wasn't listening to anybody. Anybody. When it was time to tank, he wasn't listening to anybody. Got to give Calle Yarncroke another shot. Okay. You know, play the second most minutes this year for the Leafs outside of a goalie? It was Morgan Riley. Jake McCabe 1. Morgan Riley 2. You're dying to get fired if that's your attitude. What are you doing? There was a line from The Simpsons years ago. Sometimes I think you want to fail. Morgan Riley is your second highest player in terms of minutes played. You didn't adjust? But the biggest reason to let him go was, and there was a line this year, apologies for not pulling this clip. Someone asked Craig Berube when things were going really south about changing up the system. Have you thought about changing up when they can't win a forecheck battle? And it's just one-way traffic against Jake McCabe and Morgan Riley the other way in Berube's system. Craig, have you thought about changing up the system? His quote was, "The system is the system." He was like the James Harden of coaches. James Harden once says, "I'm the system." Craig Berube, who won a cup with doing this, was going to stay the course. I got news for you, though. No Alex Pietrangelo on that blue line. So things looked a little different here. No one told this guy what to do. That was the problem. And Treliving got fired too because of it. And if I'm John Chayka, and if I'm coming into this situation, and I know I already have a target on my back if I'm Chayka, I'm well aware. The last thing I'm going to have here, and we'll bleed more into that in a second, the last thing I'm going to have here is a guy with a ring who doesn't respect me. Because I'm getting enough of that on the outside. If we're going to work together, that's different. That's different. I'm not standing for that. And they let Berube have a shot to explain what happened, and they sat down with him over the weekend. It was Sundin, Chayka, and Berube. And Elliot Friedman reported earlier today, there was a few players that did get spoken to. It wasn't necessarily Austin Matthews. That's still to come. But the Toronto-based players that were in town, like the Tavareses of the world, Chris Tanevs, I think Nylander spoke to Sundin and Chayka. Like, they did speak to some players. They did. But that I have a ring, get out of my way attitude, that's not going to fly with Chayka. It can't. If I'm Chayka, I do the exact same thing. No one in the market respects me besides Ed Rogers. No one. I'm not going to take that garbage from my coach. Not acceptable. Not acceptable. And on top of that, when the Canucks are the only team that allowed more goals than you last year, when you allowed more shots per game than anyone last year, we brought this up a couple times. If you are John Chayka, you have no analytical credibility if you keep him. You almost have no choice. So it's not fun to get fired because people like to point and laugh. It's not a good feeling. While all the people are pointing and laughing, Berube has a cup ring and he's making $4.5 million this season. How's your life? How's your life? Zip it in your mom's basement. Joke. All right. So now I want to look at this from the Leafs perspective. And for the record, I want to say Berube's done. I'm not sure. Although, hey, Edmonton, he might be your guy. He might be your guy. If you're a Leaf fan right now, generally speaking, this is an amazing moment. Because what has been the history of the Leafs the last 3-4 years? Well, let's give Sheldon Keefe another year. Let's see if it works. Let's give Brendan Shanahan another year. Let's see if it works. Let's see how this plays out. Considering where the Leafs are sitting in their history and what the roster looks like with a number 1 overall pick coming into the fold, you need alignment. And going into next season, be still my beating heart. Sundin, Chayka, and this head coach, in theory, will be on the same page. What a concept. Wow. It's not just one ass backwards hiring after another in the wrong order. They're actually getting this correct. Is it going to work? We'll find out. But in terms of everyone being on the same page, I'm not saying they're going to turn into Jeff Gorton, Kent Hughes, and Martin St. Louis, but it's a start. It's a start. And it ends the notion in this city that you just keep people around because, well, they have years left on their deal. Treliving had 1 year left, gone. Berube, 2 years left, gone. Something has changed here in Toronto sports. And I like it. And if you're a Leaf fan, you should like it. It doesn't matter how many years they have left. Ross Atkins, John Schneider should be a little worried at that. It's not about the contracts anymore. Ed Rogers is setting a different level of expectation. And if you're a Leaf fan or a Blue Jays fan hearing that, or a Raptors fan, that's healthy. That's what real organizations do. They don't care how many years left you have. Is this the right move? And firing Craig Berube now was 100% the right move. But I got sucked into he has 2 years left on his contract. That's not what MLSE would do. To hell with it. This is a new day. And it's bigger than Berube. Don't get comfortable, Schneider. Don't. This is a new day. Kris Knoblauch hasn't started a 3-year extension. He's about to get let go. New day. Is this the fit for this organization or not? New day. New day. It's important because if you want to build something that lasts, you can't be held hostage to mistakes. Mistakes are going to happen. It's fine. But this is now the alignment that at least gives it a chance. And it gives me a crouton of evidence that maybe Chayka is not going to play as scared as I think he is. The other thing this does is it removes Matthews from the Berube fired equation, and I think that's very important. That's very important. Now, did he have absolutely nothing to do with this? Did they have zero conversations with Matthews? I don't know. All I know is the big face-to-face hasn't happened. And to have that in the air, that Matthews made this call, hurts Matthews and belittles Chayka. Like, what I really like about this right now is Chayka seems more self-aware than I realize. He knows what's being said. He knows the market he's in. He knows what's being said, and it's go time on looking like the boss. I like it. I like it. The scoreboard is now 1 for Chayka, 0 for inactivity. Is it 2 for Chayka? And he won the first pick. Good point, Azo. 2 Chayka, bad Leafs, 0. That's a scoreboard right now. It was 0-0 at the press conference. Now it's 2-0. After video review, Azo's correct. It's 2-0 for Chayka. It's good. Center ice. Point to center ice. Now, in terms of the what next, and I can't say this enough, the timing from the Leafs' perspective on this has been proper. You fire a GM when you should have. And it's tough during the season. Weird after he ran a trade deadline in True Living. But it gives you time. Fire Berube now. It gives you time. And I understand people who are immediately drawing conclusions to Bruce Cassidy being linked to the Oilers yesterday and the Oilers not being given permission by the Golden Knights to speak to Bruce Cassidy, despite the fact they have a coach. We'll get to Kris Knoblauch in a second. People are drawing the conclusion between that news yesterday and, oh, bleep, we got to fire Berube or we're going to lose our guy. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. When you look at this Leafs team on paper, contractually, and on the ice, ask yourself one question. Is this a team close to winning, or is this a team close to rebuilding? We all know the answer to that. Only anyone inside MLSE who has TV contract interests would be dumb enough to suggest to you something different. Bruce Cassidy is not a Leafs coach for this moment. Sorry, guys. I hate to break it to you. He burns hot. He'll get you some results if that's what you want. I understand the Oilers playing footsie with it as horrifically run an organization as that is. I get their mindset. I don't believe this is the type of coach for the Leafs right now. I think there's definitely a prototype. Obviously, you need an analytically driven coach. I would prefer a younger coach. I would prefer a younger coach who's won something. I would prefer a younger coach who's won multiple things. And I don't know if this is the road they're going to go down. Something tells me Chayka knows exactly who he wants. And did the respectful thing and talked to Craig Berube to give him a chance to explain what happened. But I believe Chayka's known who he's wanted the whole time. Now, I don't know if this is the name. You're going to hear a lot of names. I don't think it's a discussion. I think this should be the next head coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs if the Leafs and Chayka can make it work. As I'll throw the picture up, please. It's David Carl from the University of Denver. For those not familiar, he's a winner. He's 36 years old. He's won 3 national championships at the University of Denver. The most recent one happening like a couple of weeks ago. And you know those USA World Juniors titles that you didn't like watching in Ottawa and Minnesota? Yeah, he won them both as coach with USA. He was behind the bench. And I know he not that long ago signed an extension at the University of Denver. Whatever. I'm sure they can figure it out. Here's the other thing. Leafs have the number 1 overall pick. Who's the rumored pick out of the Big Ten? Gavin McKenna. So David Carl knows college hockey a little bit. Also, David Carl's from Anchorage, Alaska. Gavin McKenna's from Whitehorse. Still, like a long drive separates the two, I'm aware. But kind of similar parts of North America in a way. And if you want to bring in a Gavin McKenna or a young player, whoever that young player is for the Toronto Maple Leafs, who have the first overall pick on the night of June 26th, do you not want a coach who can relate to young players? Is that not important? I think now that's really important. I've seen the act of a coach behind the Leafs bench who just cared about his record that night and did not care about any big picture. That's where Berube just told on himself over and over and over again. He did not care about any big picture idea. This Leafs team does not need that again. Whether it's Jay Woodcroft or it's Bruce Cassidy or whoever. Bruce Boudreau. I love Bruce Boudreau. But older heads who feel like they have to win the cup. This time in Leafs history is not for you. It isn't. Whether it's Manny Malhotra out in Abbotsford, whether it's David Carl, there are some young names here who matter. And I believe could really, really be an asset to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Analytically driven, young professionals. All David Carl does is win. Did it at the World Juniors, did it at the NCAA level. And I got news for you. With the NIL money, there's more heat on college coaches in hockey than ever before. They're spending money. Again, am I willing to say David Carl's the next head coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs? Absolutely not. I think Chayka knows the person he wants. And it probably isn't Steve Sullivan. But the Bruce Cassidy discourse, I think, is foolish with the Toronto Maple Leafs. I get it with other markets. It doesn't add up here. It's a lazy Toronto thing to say. Who's the best coach? Bring him in. No. And based on what I've just seen with John Chayka, I have a smidge more faith than I used to that he's not thinking that either. But you're going to hear a bunch of names. Hell, based on what I just saw, I think Mike Gillis might throw his hat in the ring to coach the team. Has enough friends in the media. But again, the Leafs have given themselves time here. This is smart. Respect Berube, give him a meeting. Done. Now, the overriding point is I think the most relevant thing today. Because we've now reached a part in the Leaf discourse over the last 10 years where Toronto have brought in a Mike Babcock, hard-nosed winner, Craig Berube, hard-nosed winner, with expectations. They're going to whip the Leafs core into shape. That was the expectation. Oh, you didn't like that? Here's Sheldon Keefe, a young, unproven National Hockey League coach, player-friendly coach, offensively driven coach who was literally scared to criticize anyone publicly on the roster. How did that work? I'm interested in how all this plays out like you. But we have to acknowledge a simple truth about this team, and it's this. With this core, it doesn't matter who you bring in. It doesn't matter. Because believe it or not, today was a layup in terms of the heavy lifting John Chayka still has to do with this team. A layup. A tough call with Craig Berube. And this today is nothing compared to the stuff he has to pull. This core has shown you none of the prototypes of head coaches can get through to them. They will do what they feel like doing. Nothing changes here until this core is carved out. Matthews aside, because I still think there's something there. Berube buried him. Everyone else, don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. So if you're expecting a type of coach to get through to these guys, I have news for you. You haven't been paying attention. You haven't been paying attention. John Chayka has to put his hard hat on here if he wants to really change the culture. But I think as a head coach, there's a way you can start with a first overall pick coming in. I do believe that. Don't get seduced by the same Bruce Cassidy BS that this organization's been seduced by for years. Don't. Who fits your team 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now? Who is it? How about an analytically driven kid who wins a ton and knows a little about college hockey, considering you might take Gavin McKenna? I don't know. Seems like it might be a fit. So big picture, still really worried. Because the same freeloaders are on the roster who think they're great, and they're not. But in terms of the micro of this moment, big opportunity for John Chayka and Matt Sundin. Big. I have a feeling Chayka knows the person. You just don't do this with 2 years left on a contract. You tell Ed Rogers, can you pay $9 million for 2 years? I have an idea. He said yes. Lengths of contracts no longer matter in the city of Toronto is what today is about. That's a big move in this city. That's a big, big move in this city. And if you're a Leaf fan and a Jays fan and a Raptor fan, raise a glass to the power broker who made that happen, because that has not been the case here for a long time. And that's when real change can happen. Not we can't make the move now because they're signed long-term. It's changed to what's the right thing to do now. Hugely important. And very un-Toronto. Very un-Toronto. So again, Craig Berube loved this job, and I know it's a tough day for him, but he needs to coach better than that. That was a pathetic performance by him and his staff last year, and any head coach. I can't believe some of the head coaches that got fired before him. For Bruce Cassidy to get fired before him is crazy. By the way, the Patrick Waugh, Neil Glassberg connection is still very much in the air. I think we need to remember Patrick Waugh, which I think is a huge mistake. But again, Leaf fans who just want to get a name, they're going to say a name. I understand that. This is now chess. If you're going to win a cup in this city, you got to play this a little differently. You got to play it differently. And considering this is his first big move, I'm slightly more of a Chayka guy today than I was yesterday. And some of you are as well, and you'll never admit it. We'll see. This is chapter 1 for Chayka in a long trilogy of decisions. But I think it's one he had to make. Craig Berube proved he's not fit for the greater good of the organization. That was clear. And we'll see where he goes. I want to go on record as saying I'm on team David Carl. Numerous NHL teams have already gone down that road. He's turned teams down, man. That's how sure David Carl is of himself. we'll see where it goes. Jeff has a party. Good afternoon.
Well, good afternoon, Sydney.
Sorry, did I go for 40 minutes?
You did. I know.
Oh, but heaven forbid something break in the morning. And, my
You
whole
can't
plan
do
is
it.
ruined.
What do you mean we got to throw out all that content we had?
That's a pathetic broadcaster line is what that is.
Mhm.
Your general thoughts. When you saw the news today at 9:30, Azzo, what'd you think?
Logical. It's the logical move to make. It's low-hanging fruit, but at the same time, we talked about a new GM could come in here and keep this guy as a shield for himself. So I'm glad he didn't. It also made me think this guy's talking about the truth. To your point, the resources he says that's open to him as Toronto Maple Leafs GM, the money they can spend on paying this guy $4.5 million for the next 2 years, they're doing it. That is the resources they have open to him.
Berube has 2 years left at $9 million. Just have 90 kids wave a flag at center ice.
That's all you need.
And it's paid for.
You have that in 9 games,
Good.
9 home games.
Viper in the chat, LOL. There's Azzo.
Yeah. What's up? And then to your point, like we always say, the defensive metrics on this guy were awful. But what about the offensive metrics? Like I shout out my guy Anthony Petrielli of Maple Leafs Hot Zone. The season before Berube, Leafs finished second in goals per game. In his first season, when they won the division, they dropped to 7th. Last season, they were 16th. Like,
yikes, man.
Like, don't just talk. And this allows you with that number 1 pick to go after an offensive guy now, because now you're making the change. You have to start moving forward. Now, the one point I'm going to disagree with you on is I do think the Bruce Cassidy, Oilers, all that news that came out yesterday had something to do with this.
Oh,
but not because of Bruce Cassidy.
No, but listen, I'm not saying I disagree with you.
No,
but I hate if they go down that road.
No, but it's not because of Bruce Cassidy. It's because this team's had 2 big PR wins in the last week. Well, this is the second one. The first one's winning the first overall pick. And now, again, low-hanging fruit. I don't think a lot of fans want to see Berube back by letting him go. They couldn't be the Oilers in that situation, where this gets out that they're talking to other guys and they haven't fired Berube yet. So just do the deed quick, get it over with. Fans want it, move on. Like, they couldn't take the PR hit the Oilers took yesterday.
No, the Oilers
asking to talk to a coach when they hadn't fired theirs.
The Oilers are a disgrace for that.
Right. So I don't think the Leafs wanted any part of that. And that clicked, like, let's just do it now. Just cut the cord right now and we can move forward.
Yeah, it's a plausible theory. It is. Because, so hold on. Are we working under the premise that you think the Leafs would have tried to back channel something to Cassidy as well?
Well, who knows? But you can't take that chance.
No,
I'm saying
now you can't. You're right. Now you can't.
To your point, like, Chayka's looking good to me. They're winning me over, this group, by putting they're doing what they said they were going to, using these resources, evaluating after the fact, talking to these guys. Like, they are winning me over.
For the record, they haven't won me over.
No, I'm getting there though.
No, but this is a morsel of positivity for me.
Yes, exactly. Okay.
That's a good way of putting it. That I did not have last Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
And I do want to shout out, they treated with Berube with respect on the way out. He does have a Stanley Cup.
But to your point,
and I think that's where all those news aspects came for, that he was staying because of the way they were treating him with respect to people behind the scenes. And I love that part too, that this stuff's just dropping out of anywhere. Not just for us who love this content when it drops, but the fact that, like, you didn't see this coming. It was actually the opposite report. Like, I think they're trying to send a message that way. No matter what you're hearing, you don't know what we're going to do. And I love that.
I don't hate it.
I
don't hate it. Daryl Samuels in the chat. 34, 44, 88 must go next. I see pitchforks in this chat, Azzo.
Can I say one more thing about the Cassidy thing too?
Go ahead.
It's funny, like, you just think because he gets offered the Leafs job, he's going to take it. If this guy wants to win right now, to your point, he's making the decision where he goes.
It's true. Like that.
The Oilers just went to 2 Stanley Cup finals before this season. Like, why wouldn't he choose them if he wants to win now?
And by the way, Edmonton, why do you think Cassidy wants to go?
Yeah.
Like he didn't watch that first round series. He thinks Ryan Nugent-Hopkins going to take him to the promised land if a superstar gets hurt.
Yeah,
really? There's a lot of gall in Canadian hockey, a lot, and
true.
I think Cassidy's waiting for an entirely different gig to open up. Who knows?
Yeah,
like who knows? Like what if the Avalanche just choke on it in the next round?
Right.
What happens in Carolina with Rob Brindamore? I don't know.
He's happy then.
Like what? No, but what if
right.
the Habs or the Sabres get him? I still think the Habs are going to win the series. But like, if you're Bruce Cassidy, you can kind of wait this out. By the way,
100%.
10 games.
It's going to be his choice.
10 games in the next season, he'll have another opportunity.
Yeah.
Someone's going to fire their coach.
100%.
So the notion,
like, I hate that you just give him this
the
job.
notion in Edmonton of, well, McDavid's here. Obviously, Bruce Cassidy would come. What a foolish organization that is.
No, without a doubt.
Just foolish.
This is Cassidy's choice, not the team.
The organization that brought in Tristan Jarry at $5 million plus for multiple years. You think Bruce Cassidy looks at your sad sack unit aside from 2 players and is going to say, I can win the Western Conference with that? Get out of here with that stuff.
And
Garbage.
that's the only tricky part about that. Does Vegas let him go to a division rival? But we'll see. I mean, I don't think they can stop him if they have a good excuse, like having a coach. That's a good excuse not to grant a guy permission. So I just think the Leafs didn't want to be on the side the Oilers were on yesterday. They couldn't have this leak out if they wanted to start talking to people.
Maybe.
So it's like, just cut the cord quick. Again, they're handling it right, which I'm not used to by the Leafs.
Yeah, this is a weird feeling.
Right?
It's a weird feeling.
They treated Berube with respect on the way out, which is why I think all those reports were that he was coming back, because they weren't talking like he was done. They were treating him with respect. To your point, he has a Stanley Cup. They don't. Chayka doesn't. Sundin doesn't. So show him some respect. But they handled it right.
But the other thing is, you think Cassidy's going to walk around there and be scared of John Chayka?
No.
If I'm John Chayka, I'm worried about that.
Yeah.
I am.
Oh, of course.
We need to be on the same page with this. You can't just big time me and show me a ring like Pat Riley and then walk out of a room. That can't be the relationship. And I felt like Berube at times with Treliving and some other people gave him the ring, the Power Rangers thing, and left the room.
Yeah.
That's what he did. And you can't have that in an organization.
Yeah. But to your point,
by the way, the Oilers thing, sorry. Let's do this now because I have a feeling the Chayka sound is coming in pretty quick.
Okay.
I'm stunned how many people are criticizing the Golden Knights here.
Yeah.
Let me tell you how this works, because this just happened to me. True story.
Yeah.
When you sign a contract and you're let go and there's still time on that contract, the company dictates what you do next. Now, I made the decision to just kind of sit it out. So I never even had a conversation with anyone about next steps until my contract was done. Bruce Cassidy obviously wants to get back in the game a lot sooner. But the company who signs the contract with you dictates terms. And I don't know if you've noticed, the Golden Knights aren't as dumb as the Oilers and a lot of other Canadian franchises. You think they're going to let Bruce Cassidy go to a division rival?
That's what I mean.
Why? What? Give me one reason they would do that when they control his next year.
No kidding.
You think Vegas, this short in their history, this early in their history, this young in their history, have been to 2 cup finals and won one because they're stupid? As dumb as Edmonton? As dumb as the Leafs? They control terms on that. This isn't a charity.
100%.
It's the most unprofessional take I've ever seen. It's a business. Well, they need to be nice to Bruce Cassidy. No, they don't. They signed the contract. They're paying Bruce Cassidy. What do you mean? They will dictate terms because other teams are dumb enough to let all other coaches. Now, the Leafs are different. If Craig Berube wants to coach a team in the Atlantic, I'd let him do that tomorrow. I'd let him do that tomorrow because that would help the Leafs long term.
Yeah.
But to act like the Golden Knights should, out of charity, let Bruce Cassidy talk to a division rival? Are you a moron? That's not how that works. That's not how. They're not that dumb. You're that dumb.
No, that's why
they're not that dumb. Now, the only person that looks dumb here is Stan Bowman in the Edmonton Oilers.
100% agree.
It's not even close.
And that's what the Leafs couldn't have.
It's not even close.
That's what the Leafs couldn't have happened. Now, there are reports that they did let the Kings talk to him, to Cassidy.
Oh, I heard they didn't.
Oh, really? I thought I read they did.
The Kings reached out. The Kings weren't allowed to talk to him.
I read they did.
2 division rivals reportedly reached out to the Golden Knights, and they said, let me think about it.
But I understand saying if we have a good reason to say no, we can say no, and you still have a coach. Like, no, you have your coach. Why are you talking to our former one?
No, but that's not even. I get what you're saying.
No, but I said the division rival thing for sure. Why would you want to see him go to a team in your division?
I don't care who doesn't like it. The Golden Knights are dictating terms because they're paying the guy.
Yeah,
that's it. I don't want to hear it.
Do you
it's the most ignorant take I've heard in a while. The Golden Knights need to be charitable and need to let the Edmonton. To hell with the Edmonton Oilers.
It's true. I agree
they're a
with
pathetic organization.
That's why I said it. I agree with you.
Get out of here.
I don't see why they'd let him go to a division rival. But
the dumbest thing I've heard in a while. The Golden Knights are being naughty.
Are you surprised they let him do media then, though?
Well, he's allowed to do media,
I guess. But then what if he's
he's allowed to do media.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm sure part of that deal is the Golden Knights would know what outlets he's going on.
Right.
You do have to, like, if you're going to go somewhere and rip the Golden Knights while you're being paid.
No, that's what I mean.
That's not smart.
Right. That's fair.
Like, it's not
that's
smart.
fair.
Anyway, I wanted to get that off my chest. I couldn't believe that opinion on the Golden Knights. The Golden Knights are doing what they feel is best. By the way, they're still playing. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Yeah.
So they're going to be playing in a series. By the way, how did the Oilers not beat the Ducks?
Yeah, I know.
That Habs Sabres series, the hockey that's being played in relation to what I watched between Vegas and the Ducks last night, pathetic. pathetic hockey
agree.
being played in that Vegas Golden Knights Duck series. I'm sorry. That's crazy.
Can I say, yeah. Anyways, this is the biggest wins I've seen for the Leafs in the first and second rounds of the playoffs between last week, the first overall pick, and this. Like, this is the most like good news I've seen from the Leafs in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs in 10 years.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
That's great.
Okay, so we
have
have
the sound.
We have it's 9 minutes of John Chayka. He just scrummed with the media just now. It's over. Azo, do you want to get to a few comments in the chat first, and then we'll surf with John
chat's
Chayka?
everywhere, and it's flying.
Go ahead.
Today.
Just throw 3 or 4 or 5 up.
This was one I was saying. What Jordan says. Alex DeLuca really did save us. Berube is gone.
Alex DeLuca.
The hero we all needed.
Ponytail, how do you like dem apples? Alex DeLuca.
Oh my
Saving
goodness.
the Leafs. The new assistant GM of the Toronto Maple Leafs, Alex DeLuca.
Martin says it's the no trade clauses that determine the roster right now. And he's right.
Big problem.
Right?
It's a big problem for Chayka. I don't know how he's going to navigate it. We'll see. So far, so good, though.
Yeah.
So far, so good.
Alex says he needed to go, yeah, but he also led the Leafs to their best season playoffs in over 2 decades. His GM failed him.
No, sorry.
I think it was...
Disagree. Do you know who led them to that season? Anthony Stolarz and Joseph Wall.
But didn't it also seem with Berube,
Absolutely.
which was another point of mine? Like, yeah, first of all, of course he wasn't playing the right system. But then even the players they brought in to try and help him, he didn't use them properly or didn't use them. Like the Lawton would you would have
Scott
thought.
Lawton thing was insane. But that is another reason why Chayka cannot trust a guy like this. So you tell me you want a 4th line
Agreed.
center. I gave up a 1st round pick for a guy you know.
Agreed. That's my point.
And
Yep.
you're not going to play him because he makes one mistake in game 1?
Yeah.
Are you a lunatic?
Seriously.
No, I can't have that head coach. I'm sorry. That's ridiculous.
And then
That's
seeing
ridiculous.
the offense, like we saw some of the guys like Nick Waugh and Bobby McMahon have such success in the playoffs scoring, which they couldn't do here. It just tells you like everything was wrong with this guy. It's insane to me.
Yeah, I'm
Like these guys went to another team and found a role easily, and he had them for a full season. And to your point about not changing the system,
I mean, neither of
is
them
lunacy.
neither of them won a game in the playoffs this year. So let's kind
No,
of
but they were scoring. They were
right.
finding a role on a team, on a playoff team. And this guy had the whole season. No, but to your point, he wouldn't change the system no matter what.
That he would not do. He would not change the system. No.
But I'm saying these guys went to a team and that they were on for 2 weeks and found a role and were producing for that team. Again, that goals per game stat and how much they've dropped in his tenure is insane to me.
See, I'm seeing this in the chat. I have to read one thing.
Okay.
This worries me.
Uh-oh.
From Udom. What do you guys think of Dave Tippett?
No.
Guys, that's what I think of Dave Tippett. Okay? I know there's an Arizona connection. I know why you're bringing it up. I get it. This team needs new blood.
They do.
You cannot have an experienced coach looking to make a mark in a quick way just go rogue. Craig Berube, who's a liked guy, went rogue. Let's be honest here. When they had to tank, he didn't care. When it was time to play Morgan Riley less, he didn't care. When it was time to sit Yarncroke consistently for kids or someone from the Marlies who deserved a shot, he didn't care. He was out for Craig. Craig was never in this for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Sorry. The evidence is there to see. Don't tell me he was a team player. He was not. He was an arrogant cup winner who thought he knew more than everyone else and he got embarrassed last year. That's why he's gone. That's why he's gone. I do not want to see another guy like this on this team with Chayka because Chayka needs to be respected internally. He's going to work on the external. Internally, he cannot have people stabbing him in the back. And you saw it all year, guys. I'm sorry. You saw it all year with Berube and Treliving. Treliving was no saint either. Don't get me wrong. But those days are over. Where you're trying to tank and the guy won't tank. And I know it's weird to go back to it considering the Leafs got the first overall pick, but they were lucky that they got a pick. Never mind the first overall pick. They were lucky, period. Berube did everything in his power aside from 2 weeks at the end of the year to make sure they were out of the top 5. That was Berube. Let's not forget how that played out. I don't forget how that played out. He could have had a lot in this town. He wouldn't budge.
It's true.
Today was warranted. 100% today was warranted.
Can we just make sure it's not Steve Sullivan or somebody who will have Chayka's back a lot? Like they have a history from Phoenix. Let's just make sure it's
I
not
have
him
a
either.
feeling might be a new staff.
But he has history with him. And if you want a guy, I don't know.
No.
Because the last line you read in that press conference or in that statement was a little bit jarring to me.
What do you mean? That the new coach is going to pick a staff?
Well, yeah, of
That's
course.
that's pretty standard. What are you talking about?
No, I know, obviously.
So what's jarring you?
No, but the whole staff isn't gone. Like,
no, but that's
I think
same.
you pick your own.
No, he's doing the Pelly thing. Pelly said the new GM of hockey ops will decide on the coach. And they're saying, to your point, this shield is already gone.
It's gone.
9 days in.
That's why don't put up another one.
No, you need to let someone else fire someone
100%.
and blame them for it.
And again, this can affect what you do with your number one pick. So to your point, it's a great time to do it. Because now, like if Berube was still there, I would be concerned that they'd pick a defenseman at number one. Now you can go and get one of those offensive guys.
Right.
Right? Like it's just, and let's say Pelly apparently wasn't at the press conference, it looks like. Thank you. Smart call again. The Leafs doing something else right. Because after Pelly told me last year that I should trust Berube and trust Treliving, and now they're both gone. I don't need to hear from Pelly today. No offense, Keith.
No, but it was the right call. Pelly,
It was the right call.
Stay away.
Yep.
Go play golf or whatever it is you're doing.
Without a doubt.
Okay, do you want to hear from John Chayka?
I think I would today.
All right, so
and I like he did this right away.
What do you mean?
Like news came out 9:30 this morning, 12:30, 3 hours later, he's talking.
That's a smart thing to do.
It is.
It's how organizations run.
The Leafs are handling
Yes.
this right. What's going on?
The Leafs of 2 years ago would have waited till Thursday to have a press
100%.
conference because Shanahan was in the Muskokas or something.
Yeah.
Like it would have been some stupid reason.
Sure.
All right. So Azo and I have not heard this yet. Scrum surfing rules are in effect for those who aren't aware. Whenever we feel like stopping the clip because we'd like to say something or hear something that's hilarious one more time, we will run it back. Are you prepared, Azo?
I think I am.
Okay.
Thank you to the people at SICK, too, for helping us out here.
That's
great
a quick
job.
turnaround.
That's great. It's
Go
awesome.
Habs tomorrow night.
Go Habs.
Sabres got lucky.
Hell yeah.
You lucky bastards.
True.
That was Lindy Ruff's win. Everything he touched turned to gold yesterday, including the stanchion. So
you believe in UPL?
starting to after yesterday.
He looked pretty good.
Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen was pretty good
He
last
looked
night.
pretty good. Looked like the right call. That's why he was their starter, right? Game one.
But you know why? He didn't have to deal with the stanchion.
Yeah, fair enough.
Dobish is the only guy to deal with the stanchion.
Sure.
All right, so here we go. This is John Chayka, who just fired Craig Berube a few hours earlier. He spoke moments ago down at Scotiabank Arena.
Thanks, everyone, for coming down. I know it was short notice. Appreciate you guys coming out. I just want to start off by thanking Craig Berube and his family for their contributions to the Toronto Maple Leafs. I've got to spend some time with Craig. He's a great man, a very good coach. Did a lot of good things here. That's not lost on me. I told him myself I hope to lead with the same class and grace that he did in his time here. Moving forward, we felt like after reviewing the organization and spending some time in the facility and meeting with staff, we felt like this was the right decision on the path ahead. It was an organizational decision. It was not a verdict on Craig's coaching. I think it stands for itself.
But it is a statement on Craig's coaching. Let's just cut that BS line out right now. Stop it. He was dead last in almost every statistical category as a team last year.
They took a hit offensively with him as coach in 2 years.
Yes. Every category, offensively and defensively, went in the toilet. Do not say to me with a straight face and expect me to believe this is not a comment on his coaching. Because it is.
Your best players had their worst years.
Yes.
Yes.
This was the right decision at this time. With that, I'm happy to take any questions.
In the statement, you mentioned an organizational shift kind of leads to this. How would you describe what the shift is?
I just say that, we didn't make this decision in a vacuum. This is a, bigger picture decision, and it's not just about a coach. It's, Matt's and I spent, like I said, the last 10 days or so meeting with everyone from the chefs to talking to some of the players and everything in between.
Uh-oh.
Did a chef get Berube fired?
What did Berube do to the chef?
What did Berube do to the chef?
Had that been a stealing frying pan to the head?
Did he ask for extra taters every day and they got mad at him? I understand asking for extra
Stephon
taters.
Diggs?
Wow.
I feel like there's some things that we need to, change and do better and be better. And certainly that starts with Matt's and myself at the top, with Keith and the board, aligning on a vision and a path ahead.
How much did
he shouldn't have said the chef's thing. I'm sorry.
Why did that lead?
The more I'm thinking about that line, that should not have happened. Just let's not. I know they want to be collective in their decision making. That doesn't mean everybody. Sorry.
The Chefs was the first person he mentioned.
No, but listen, do you remember the video I found of Humza Tarani,
Yeah.
Keith Pelly's number 2 at
Of course.
MLSE?
Yeah.
Humza in the podcast that I found is very big on ideas from everywhere,
Everybody.
which in theory is great. But when you're explaining to the city of Toronto why Berube was fired, you can't include everyone like that and have no one go, that's a little weird. Sorry, that's a big time hockey decision. Let's not bring everyone into the circle of trust on that.
Wow.
Sorry.
It's deep due diligence. Due diligence. You got to talk to the
that's
chefs.
Deep due diligence with deep dish
Hold on,
pizza.
who's the chef? Maybe it's a former player. Maybe
I don't
he knows
know.
his hockey.
Listen,
Maybe that's what Mark
I've
Savard's
eaten
doing now.
plenty of times down at Scotiabank. Great chefs. But are they GMs? I don't know. Don't say that.
Wait, is
Don't
Real
say
Sports,
I talk to the chefs. Don't do that.
Real Sports owned by MLSE?
Yes.
Yeah, the chefs, they're good. I trust him.
Chefs are great at real
Ah,
Sport.
I trust that guy.
The future impact this decision?
None. Zero.
What are some of those things that
Back- Let's just hear the question, please.
Yeah,
That was Terry Koshan of The Sun. I wanted to hear that.
Usually ask good questions.
And a path ahead.
How much did Austin's future impact this decision?
None. Zero.
what are some of those
Yeah,
Good question. Good answer.
great answer.
Yep. None.
Short? Zero.
None.
Perfect.
Again, you cannot have this in Austin's lap. Austin has a lot of responsibility as the captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs. He's recovering from knee surgery. I don't think it's smart. If you see Austin as a part of the organization after these 2 years, it is not smart to put out the narrative, Austin wanted this.
Yeah.
Nope, because I got news for you. That narrative in Edmonton is running wild with cause the way they spoke at those season-ending availabilities. I don't think it's a smart thing to do unless the player wants to be front and center. And Draisaitl McDavid did want to be front and center at the end of that season. So maybe it's not apples to apples, but I think it's a smart play from John Chayka.
Very smart.
Very
and,
smart.
And you think that's why maybe they haven't met with Matthews yet to keep it separate? Which I would
No,
understand.
I think that's definitely part of the reason.
It's very
Yes,
smart.
Definitely part of the reason.
the organization can do better and that you're looking towards?
Yeah, I think today is about the coaches, but I still haven't met with everybody fully, and not for lack of effort. But it's a big staff and a big team, and at the right time we should have that discussion, but not today.
Did you tell Craig at your meeting, or did you sleep on it before this decision?
Oh no, we had some discussions. We met in person. Yesterday we came to that conclusion, and I just say again, a lot of respect for him and everything he did, and out of that respect, felt like when those decisions are made, it's better not to delay. We thought it was the right thing to do at the right time, and we made the decision.
What traits will you be looking for in the next coach?
I think respect for the process and the candidates. I don't want to get into that today. And it also always seems like then it means that Craig was missing something, which I don't think would be fair. But we'll have a thorough process. It'll be a wide search. We'll take our time, try to get it right. It's it's the most critical decision as a general manager.
Another smart answer.
Very.
Another just like, I don't want to go down that road. Because quite frankly, if Pelly was conducting this, he'd tell you exactly the type of person he wants, and all hell would break loose.
He would try to.
So the media and everyone online matches the three candidates who feel like this person. It's unnecessary because you don't know where this next coach is coming from. I know where I think it should be coming from, but you never know who comes around the corner.
And the trust the process thing tells you it might be a longer term thing.
Yeah, I still think before the combine it would be smart.
Yeah,
but they got time.
Right,
they do have time.
Play regardless of who the coach is.
Yeah, I think that's a good discussion. I think regardless of who the coach is, we should have an organizational vision on how we play and the things we value, and then certainly through that process align on it. So again, I think it's best not to discuss all that today and not to bias the process. So we're going to have, like I said, a very wide and deep search, and there'll be people across all varying backgrounds and experiences, and through that we'll pick the right leader.
I know you haven't met with everybody yet, but how much feedback from the players about Craig kind of weigh into the decision?
Yeah, we did not solicit feedback from the players and the coaching staff at all. The only things I heard about Craig were they reemphasized just the type of person he is, and how much they enjoyed being around him. As I know, that's his credibility as a player and as a coach now. So that didn't weigh in at all.
Yeah.
Do you believe that? Do you believe John Chayka didn't ask John Tavares or Chris Tanev or whoever else he met in Toronto over the last 5 days? Do you believe for a second that Craig Berube wasn't brought up? Because I got news for you. How many times did we hear the word culture come from a Leafs press conference going back to March 31st? So you're telling me the two new guys in town, when culture is a major issue, didn't ask about the room, didn't ask about how players were responding to a coach? Listen, I feel a certain way about John Tavares. He's been around the league a lot. Chris Tanev is, I love Chris Tanev. I'm worried about the contract. I love Chris Tanev. He's been around the league a lot. They've seen some things. They can give you a picture of what that room's about. You're telling me Chayka and Sundin didn't ask about Craig Berube?
But hold on. Can I give you a counter?
Go ahead.
Because they saw it with the Gudas incident. Maybe they needed to hear more from Berube. Like, what are the players going to tell you that they didn't show you on the ice?
I mean, but maybe there's something. But let me go down this road with you.
Yeah.
And I've rarely gone down this road.
That's why we're here. Go down the road.
You can't tell me things nosedive the way they did last year and there wasn't something completely upside down in that dressing room. Like beyond the norm. I'm not talking about maybe, hey, Pat, I was open in the slot. Find me the puck. I'm talking about other stuff. That team was never united. And the reason is we don't know. We've heard people hint at things in that room. But what is it?
Can I go a step further?
Go ahead.
I think it was throughout the organizational. How many times did we see Berube and Treliving weren't on the same page? So maybe it's Berube being a bit of a bad communicator on both sides. Like, I think the bad communication doesn't just go to the players. It goes up top too. The trade deadline, like you said, not talking about that. The Stolars thing, not my call. Like, there was no communication there, right?
No.
So maybe he didn't need player because they saw there was no communication, not even either way, with the players or up top with the GM. Because that Stolars thing was just as bad as the trade deadline, where everyone's playing and then they're not till they're not. And the Stolars, why Stolars? Not my call. Like, come on.
Larry in the chat, that is probably the biggest thing. Never united ever. I have a hard time believing, talking to some of your most senior people in the room, that you wouldn't ask about what's going on in the room and how Berube policed it.
Usually I would say yes. But this culture, the bad culture we've set here, is from this core from over a decade ago, from before Berube was here. And it all came to a head with the Gudas.
You are preaching to the choir.
Right? Like, that's my only thing. Why are you going to ask Tavares when he doesn't have that in him? Why are you going to ask?
But if you're trying to figure out what happened in the room and you haven't been around,
that's fair.
Like, I find it difficult to believe you don't ask those guys what's going on.
I'm just trying to give you the other side. I'm just saying, you see it.
That one is a bridge too far for me. Sorry. You haven't spoken to Matthews.
You would have had to.
Fine. But like the Matthews thing, I'll believe. He's in Arizona rehabbing. I got it. The guys in Toronto you talked to didn't bring it up?
Yeah, Willie's been here the whole time. Tanev's been here the whole time. They're going to Marley's games and Raptors games.
Oh, I don't think Nylander's aware who his head coach is, if I'm being honest.
But maybe
Nylander has no clue.
So to your point yesterday, like, it's because Austin is the main piece here. So can you say you've talked to other players before you've even talked to Austin?
Again, Elliot this morning more than insinuated, and I feel like he was talking to us directly.
Podcast.
Shut up, Frege. I feel like he said it is a scheduling issue. He did the Aaron Rodgers relax today. So Frege is suggesting there's nothing nefarious. But the timing on this, if you're protecting Austin, makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Complete sense. And and I agree with it.
But I'm also saying you didn't talk to other players because you haven't talked to your main guy yet. Could that be a part of it? I don't know.
I don't know.
It is weird that you wouldn't talk to these players because I would assume you did. Yeah.
All right, let's continue. Let's see if he talks to the chefs again.
Craig, John, did Craig express an interest in returning next year, or was this sort of a collective decision that you both arrived at?
No, I think Craig, his heart's in it. That's the kind of guy he is, and I think he felt like he had some unfinished business, and I think he's got a lot of great connections with the players here, and it was only the discussion was about the path ahead.
If you have
not the best question.
No.
Did Craig want to stay? Yeah, I'm guessing he wanted to stay.
Or just sit at home and get paid.
Yeah, no. What was Craig's opinion? Was he good with it?
Is he good with making 4.5 for the next 2 years and staying home?
I haven't heard a dumb question like that in a while with the Leafs. That Leaf score's been pretty good.
Not great.
That was not a great question. But I hope someone follows up about the chefs.
Side note, Chayka does sound a little bit AI-ish. Some of the people in the chat are pointing that out. He does sound very AI-ish.
They're claiming that wasn't a real human being doing the media
conference,
availability today. Really?
Well, they just said he sounds AI-ish, and I kind of agree. Anyway.
Whatever, just winning up.
John, agree though, John, that it has to be more of an up-tempo play system the Leafs have, those two players in the lineup, than it was.
It's tough for me to gauge from the outside. I'd say I think Craig's opinion, and I agree with them, was he tried a lot of different things. And, I think it's, again, more about how we want to play as an organization and the types of things we want to value. And I think, having, the roster fit the coach at the right time in the right way is always an important aspect of it. But I don't think that was the deciding factor of this decision.
Ideally, when would you like to have a new coach in place?
No timeline. I mean, certainly, there's key milestones that are coming up. And so certainly, running an efficient process matters. But like I said, we're going to take our time and do a very wide search and talk to a lot of people. And ultimately,
search committee, search firm. Neil Glassberg, you're up.
Patrick Waugh. You're first on the interview list.
Patrick Waugh. I know a coach who can't hear me because of all the rings in his ears.
Oh, boy.
Patrick Waugh.
There's some respect.
I got a guy who just got fired on a team that didn't make the playoffs with like 8 games to go. You need him. That's the kind of coach you need.
That are coming up. And so certainly, running an efficient process matters. But like I said, we're going to take our time and do a very wide search and talk to a lot of people. And ultimately, how that goes and, the quality of the candidates that we come at the time we do will dictate a lot of
that. Mike in the chat, search committee is how you generally manage. I like it.
That's a very fair point.
I like it.
One more from the chat. Shingo, as a chef, I'm offended by you guys. You can have some good insight too.
Hold on. My weight loss portion of my life has been very recent. Don't j'accuse me of not respecting the great chefs in this town. Don't do it. I will not stand for that slander.
It's an important facet of your search, or would you be open to hiring a first-time coach?
So, I think we're going to start very wide and talk to as many people as we can with the varying backgrounds. As a general point, I think certainly experience in the NHL in larger markets could be an asset and will be weighed, but I wouldn't discount anything at this time.
You will have a number 1 pick and some other young guys coming back, but is that going to factor into your decision as well?
Okay, I don't think it's going to factor in any differently if we didn't have, the number 1 pick, in the sense of, I think it's important to have the right, environment and the right setup for, players to come in and be their best. And certainly we'll value that and evaluate that as we talk to the different candidates. But I don't think the lottery, as an example, would influence how we think about the right candidate.
That was interesting. We need an environment and the right setup for players to do their best. It wasn't Berube. The way Berube ran the team, the rigidness. If you're going to bring kids now into the fold, they're going to have good stretches. They're going to have really bad stretches. You can't be pulling kids from the lineup left and right for the Kelly Yarncroaks of the world. That's not an option here. And Berube could not be trusted with that type of responsibility.
Proven.
Period. End of story. I know there's a few Berube fans left, not many. You cannot debate that. He was not the coach for where this team is headed. He was not.
Cowan, prime example this year.
Yep.
Right.
And from his cold dead hand, he let that kid have playing time.
Exactly.
He did not want to give him
until he was
time.
being called out about it and him being in the stands.
How many straight healthy scratches was Easton Cowan?
9
before the Olympics. It's a stupid number.
It was a crazy number.
Chance to sit down with Austin. What do you want to get out of that meeting?
Similar to all the players, honestly.
Sorry. That's an Austin Matthews question. Let's re-rack it, Azo.
Yeah. So, but doesn't he kind of counter himself what he says there? Same as all the other players?
And well, let's hear it and find out. I haven't heard the whole quote.
Right candidate.
When you get a chance to sit down with Austin, what do you want to get out of that meeting?
Similar to all the players, honestly. I know Austin's the captain and, prolific goal scorer, and there's much attention on that for that reason. I understand that. From my perspective, as I said in my press conference, and it wasn't just a line, like I view the players as our partners. And I think we've had really great discussions to date. I think, sitting in there with Matt's, obviously, with his background and perspective, sharing notes and experiences and both sides learning from each other. That's kind of how we view that. And again, I think, Austin's a accomplished player that is world-class. And I think he, wants to align on the vision and the strategy ahead, as do we. And so I don't think there's any type of competing interests. I think it's about getting on the same page.
Now he's starting to lose me a little bit. Players are our partners. But you didn't talk to any of them about Berube? Players are our partners.
The captain is.
No, but he said players.
I know.
Generally.
I'm just saying.
You spoke to none about Berube. I'm confused. And I'm trying to do deep due diligence here. I'm a little confused at that.
And then to my point, if those players don't already have the right culture, why are you partnering with them?
I mean, look, if you're like forcing me to tell you what I really think, there's no chance they didn't talk to Austin Matthews about this.
Yeah.
We have no evidence to support that.
Of course.
But it is crazy to suggest a captain 2 years out from free agency is just completely left alone.
We were also led to believe Berube was coming back. So.
Well, from Berube.
Yeah.
Well, Berube was the first one to tell
there
us.
were some reports out there because they were treating him.
The organization, to be fair to Chayka, none of that was from the Leafs.
Yeah.
Some of the insiders, look, honestly, let's not like it is. Some of the insiders, they got thrown a curveball here today.
Well, what I was saying,
they were suggesting Berube was staying.
When we're hearing they haven't met yet, doesn't mean they haven't talked. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's always something underlying it.
FaceTime.
Yes.
Last time I checked, FaceTime's a real
Zooms.
thing.
He said he did Zooms with some people.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm with you. I don't think you do this without talking to Matthews at all. You haven't had a meeting, but you've talked to him.
Correct. JTMS squared in the chat. Chef for coach.
We tried chief. Why not try chef?
Do you smell what the chef is cooking in practice?
Oh, man.
Yeah, when do the fans get input?
Yeah, I see
if
that.
everyone at MLSC gets input, that's fine. How about the fans? No?
I wonder how much they charge. How much can you charge for that? Give us some input.
$1 million.
$1 million.
It's like, how about this? $1 million golden ticket.
There you
I don't
go.
know where I heard that. $1 million golden ticket. You get a say on who the next head coach is.
I like that.
There
I
we
like
go.
that.
All right. Continue, please.
There's no specific timeline about a new hire, but do you see the benefit in having someone in place and sort of a bit familiar before you get to the draft and you're making those decisions?
Yeah, in a perfect world, obviously all those things align. I just, again, wouldn't eliminate the possibility it goes longer. But as you said, I think there's a natural cadence to making a hire, entering into, free agency and the draft, et cetera. So.
You mentioned it was kind of like jumping on a moving train. Like what has the last week, I guess, been like for you and Matt?
Yeah, it's been great, honestly. Matt's, we've been together the whole time, and, again, his experience, he's pretty comfortable in these confines, and he knows his way around well. And so it's been, super special for me. And as we just learned about the organization, there's a ton of really great people here. I think how this has been designed has been amazing. And, getting to meet all the staff and understanding what they do day to day was just a learning experience. And it's been really good.
How big is it to have the Marlies playing right now in another playoff round and have guys at the World Championships?
Yeah, I think it's great. Anytime you get people playing in the summer is a good thing, especially, the Marlies. I think that learning experience in the playoffs really matters. And if you look back historically, when we have
no 3-putting in the chat. Vladdy loves this distraction.
Oh, definitely.
Sorry.
JJ has a great suggestion. 50,000, you get to coach a game, and then maybe you get put in the process.
50,000.
50,000.
That's about
coach
what they
a game.
charge.
Yeah, you get to coach a game, see what you got. Maybe you get your hat.
Is that from the Beyond the Seats package?
Yes, exactly. Why not?
From beyond the seats into the bench. That's a good promo. I like that.
Would be a great promo.
Go ahead.
On deeper, we've produced more prospects, and so I do think there's an element of that flywheel there, where the more they play and the higher leverage situations they get in, the better they perform and the more they learn. So yeah, really proud of that group, and Ryan Hardy and John Gruden and everything they've done there. And there's some good players, and I look forward to watching them.
Are the plans to meet with Austin any more solidified now, John?
Not more solidified. We've had conversations. I think, again, it was important for me to get a good lay of the land in terms of our internal workings and what we had in place here. And that way we could have like really informed discussion. And, I wanted to make sure that we had, again, all the knowledge we could possibly have. So when we sit down, we can have the best discussion.
Have you made any other changes to your front office?
No, not at this time. I mean, Shane Doan, we had a good discussion. He's going to run out his contract. But other than that, nothing's decided right now.
Considering he's your uncle, as Shane Doan, and you feel so strongly about the work he did behind the scenes that no one really knows about for the Toronto
You mean
Maple
Austin's
Leafs.
hero? He's not mine. He's Austin.
Okay, no,
So,
but I thought
don't
it was family
Austin
with you.
lives.
He's not family
He
with you? I'm
is. I like
sorry.
talking about him. I
okay,
talk
sorry.
about him all the time.
Thought he was as
He's Austin's
Unc.
hero,
That was
man. They
Unc-
brought him in.
Unc Shane.
Unc Shane.
Unc
It is.
Shane.
I'll call him that. I'll take Shane Doan. By the way, Marco in the chat says when they asked the chef about Berube, he said, no soup for him.
No, no more soup for him.
He's done.
No more soup. Go ahead.
What happened here?
Oh, Chayka
Thanks
goes.
everyone for coming down. I know it was short notice. Appreciate
Was
you
that
guys.
it?
That's it.
That's it, I guess.
9 minutes. It wasn't crazy.
No, they said
It
it was
wasn't
about
crazy.
9 minutes, so that's good.
All right,
sorry,
that was
that's the whole
that
thing.
was John Chayka, GM of hockey operations for the Toronto Maple Leafs, after firing Craig Berube around 9:30 a.m. this morning. The Toronto Maple Leafs right now do not have a head coach. Again, from a timeline standpoint, they got time. There's not a rush on this. Do you hire the guy in Barrie? What was the line? No one cares.
Work
play
harder.
No
Yeah,
one cares. Work harder.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know they got swept after that press conference, Barrie? Barrie Colts?
Karma.
Yeah, that was smart.
Yeah. There you go.
That's some
Good
good.
teach your kids.
Hey, I tip to everyone in junior hockey or anywhere else who thinks you're cute. Don't be. Focus on the kids. Just do your best in the game.
Coach.
Try not to be cute. Try not to be cute because then you look like a fool.
But best press avail for the Leafs in a while? That right there?
Yeah,
win.
yeah, because Pelly wasn't there.
Right. It's a win.
It's amazing how, like, it's not a huge disaster when Pelly doesn't speak. Are you noticing that trend?
A little bit. A little bit.
When Pelly's not around, they've gotten the first overall pick. Good press conference.
And first
2
time
for 2.
Chayka's had to like handle the media on his own. Yeah.
Yeah,
Without
I mean,
masks,
he's
without-
not like a 1.5-year-old walking alone for the first time. Like he's done it before. But
low bar.
okay.
Sean in the Yukon. It's a low bar to clear. But
Yep.
You're right.
Very true. Very, very true. Okay, so we're here now. All right, let's Azzo, you've heard who I think should be front and center here if he wants it, because David Carl of University of Denver has had a lot of people knocking at his door.
Yeah.
David Carl's a winner in the NCAA level, and for those who have forgotten, 2 straight World Junior Championship gold medals for the United States of America. One in Ottawa, the other in Minnesota. But there are a lot of people who are going to want a piece of this, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And look, when I heard John Chayka's name first for the Leafs, when Brad Treliving was fired, laughed.
Yeah.
So I am not discounting any name that comes down the pike, because the Leafs will look at you. They have that recent track record. Everyone might think it's a joke. The Leafs will look at it differently. So I'm not poo-pooing anything. I think David Carl needs to be the first and third person you call. You call him first, he goes, I'm not interested. Call a second person, you call him back third, say, are you sure?
I'm good with that.
Who do you think, like, who would you call first if you're John Chayka in the search for a head coach for the Toronto Maple Leafs?
I put the Canucks on the spot with Manny Malhotra. He's been on this staff before. Like, he's been an assistant coach. He knows
Right.
what it takes to be. He's
Also been
from
on,
there,
on
but-
a staff that did absolutely nothing
Right,
in the
but
postseason.
still, but
Right.
no, but he's making waves, right?
I'm just
like,
saying.
they're holding him.
Right, but he's not like
No, but a younger guy, a guy who's up
David
and coming.
Carl has a better resume than Manny Malhotra.
Agreed. But Manny, for a time, was like someone's second in command. He was taking orders. Now he's giving them. I want to see what the difference is there, because it seems like he has his own ideas. But he has the experience of being on a bench like that. I'm just saying. But it is a younger guy, up and comer. Like, I don't know the younger. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know the hockey world like that. I don't. I'm sure there's names. What I want them to do is the wide spanning search. You sure talk to some, which they said they did with GMs. I want them to talk to 27 people again, but I want them to have some ideas in mind and know who their players are and know what their goals are. And if you can tell me that coach checks off all those, I'm in. But Malhotra's the guy I'm kind of looking at, because he's an upcoming. He seems like a commodity. Will the Canucks you put the Canucks on the clock on whether they want to trust this guy or not? Because it seems like they might.
If they think Malhotra is the guy.
Right.
Because let's remember, the Leafs do have some knowledge of Manning.
Right.
They're not coming, like you said, they're not coming at this cold. I know his kid, Caleb's done a hell of a job.
Developed
the OHL
him
this year.
okay. Yeah.
But like, it's not like they're unfamiliar with the Malhotra experience. So that at least they have some knowledge there. There's a bunch. Let's just go through some names here, Azzo, because everyone's throwing out names in the chat. Brad's backyard, probably Bruce Cassidy. Okay.
I saw Gerard Gallant. Can't find it.
Yeah. Make sure you send a car for him.
Peter DeBoer's gone.
A2Z Me writes Steve Simmons for head coach. Shady McGuire, Pete DeBoer.
Dallas Eakins from Leaping Lanny Poffo.
Shout out Dallas Eakins.
Got a few Ty Domies. I've seen a few Ty Domies.
I'm seeing a lot of this. Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing this. He just won the OHL championship. The UC Ahokas name, 45-year-old who ran Kitchener. Knows international hockey a bit. Hey, listen, the stock's high. Definitely. Ron Wilson. Kevin BX's name has come up.
Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso. Mind of a goldfish. Mind of a goldfish.
Oh, here was Patrick Corum was the one who said Gerard
Gallant. Andrew, Michael in chat. Andrew Burnett. Babcock's name is coming up again. John Gruden of the Marlies. All right. I don't know if it's going to be John Gruden. There's a few David Carl. Guys, this David Carl thing is exciting me.
Yeah.
And by David Carl thing, the idea I just threw out 30 minutes ago. There's no real in-depth reporting on David Carl, but
maybe I'll have another name for you tomorrow. I got to do a little bit more research. I don't know. Ted Nolan I'm seeing in here. Who else is there?
Jeremy, Patrick Waugh.
Again,
why am I thinking Patrick Waugh might get this?
I'm thinking the same thing.
Why am I to be like scared of this?
Because they think that's the culture they need, that he can set up the culture they want from their
guy hasn't won anywhere as a head coach in this league.
And
anywhere.
He's actually started more fights than he probably like
it's just
started more fires than he put out.
Like at least if you're going to bring in an older guy, have an older guy with a resume as a coach. Patrick Waugh, junior coach Patrick Waugh, pretty good. National Hockey League coach Patrick Waugh, you got Pete DeBoer took your job like with 2 weeks to go. There's Steve Dangle. There's a lot of names coming up here.
Yeah, I don't know who I want, but I'm telling you, like, I don't want it to be someone like Steve Sullivan just because he has rapport with.
That would scare me.
Yes,
that would scare me.
Bruce Boudreau, Claude Julien.
It's not, guys. I think you need to go way younger than that.
Kris Knoblauch.
To me, if the next head coach of the Leafs isn't between the ages of 35 and 45, I think you're doing this wrong.
I agree with that.
I really think you're doing this wrong. And let's be honest here. The coach that had the best team to make a real run was the Northern Division Sheldon Keefe team.
Yeah.
Let's really give the one coach credit who should. Now they blew it. So I know a lot of you are still kind of pissed at Sheldon Keefe, but that's the closest I saw to a Leaf team that was about to do something and had the path laid out before them. Because it wasn't a Berube team. Everyone knew they were losing to Florida. I don't care what you say now. It was obvious after Game 5 they were not winning that series.
I agree.
So I still think a young coach is the play. I do.
And who did Austin have his best year under? It was Sheldon Keefe too,
Sheldon
right?
Keefe.
Yeah. So somebody like that, I think I would lean towards more too. Trust me. Hey, if Patrick Waugh gets this, I'm good for the content, dude. I'm really good.
There's going to be some content. Oh, there's going to be some content.
Let's get it right. Like, I'm all about, if you want to hire Patrick Waugh, please do.
If you're Morgan Riley,
oh boy,
and Patrick Waugh says after a practice, you and I need to stay on the ice for 45 minutes, you're crapping your pants.
100%. What about if you're Willie?
Willie doesn't care about anything.
That's fair too.
Let's not overdo it with the what's
But you're
Willie
interrupting his lunch at Sugo, maybe, bro.
What's Willie thinking? I got news for you. He's not.
Wow. Anyway.
Give me a break. All right. Last thought on this topic. Bulldog in the chat. Sid can do it.
There you go.
No, I would just divert to AI. So maybe that makes me a candidate.
Tell us what to play.
Who knows?
Remember we saw this Herc, I believe, or whatever at the beginning of the show.
Yep.
New head coach Sid, assistant coach Azzo.
Yeah, but you run power play.
Yeah, of course.
And I will fire you very quickly if you don't straighten out that Leafs power play.
That's very fair too.
Right before Christmas, you're done. You are done. All right. So Craig Berube fired today.
Wow.
There's really nothing else cooking right now, but I have a feeling we'll be talking a lot more about this.
Biggest win for the Leafs in the second round of the playoffs in the last decade.
It's true. It's true. I see Dwayne Casey.
Oh my God.
Okay, Frankie in the chat says Dwayne Casey should be a candidate. John Tortorella does not have a contract for next year.
That's true. I was thinking that too. But
Does not have a contract.
You want him, you might as well bring in Patrick Waugh. Anyways,
I guess.
Paul wants to know, will Mats bring in the Swedish chef now? If they're
Oh man. Shout out. Good chef reference. Underrated. I can't believe he said we talked to the chef.
First. It was the first
It was
guy
one of
he
the first
mentioned.
people.
I think it was very first.
Now listen, as anyone will tell you, and I will reiterate the point again. You know why I never complain at restaurants? Because chefs have memories.
It's true.
Any of you folks out there who ever make a scene in a restaurant, you are dumber than dirt. Because you have no idea what's happening in that kitchen. with your
Especially
food.
before you get your food.
Especially before you get it. The dumbest people on earth complain about their food and make a scene at a restaurant. Because then they go into radio silence. You have no idea what's happening with your food. Chefs, you're the best. I think you should make all the decisions. All the decisions.
Jacqueline says Joe Bowen's for coach. He's done
Yeah,
broadcasting.
I think we're good. I think we're good.
Just he doesn't like podcasts. Settle down.
Oh, how about this? Loading 8883. Mentor of the year, Jake Gardner. For
yeah.
New Coach.
If he's a mentor, maybe that's why he came on the show.
Mentor of the year.
From mentor to coach.
Maybe it was a scouting mission. Maybe he wasn't just mentor. Maybe.
John Gibbons. There's a bunch of John Gibbons now.
A lot of John Gibbons.
No three putting. He's like, come on, it's Vladdy time now.
Vladdy time. Okay. You know what, Azza? Great time of year.
Because the Leafs got a new coach, or why? Tell me why.
Well, they don't have a new coach.
Oh, wow. Sorry. They need a new coach.
They're searching for a new coach.
They're searching for a new coach. Fair enough.
You know why? Puck drops, tip-offs, first pitches. When the game is on, you call the shots. Head to betway.ca and bet your way. Must be 19 plus. Play responsibly. It's a PGA Championship weekend, Azzo.
It is.
It's probably, of all the golf tournaments, it's the one where I'm like not the most excited about, but once I'm in it, I'm in it.
Of course.
And I'm loving every second of it. Aronimink Golf Course, just outside of Philly, will play host. And how about Cameron Young going into this tournament?
I like Cameron Young.
How about Cameron Young, who, by the way, is from Scarborough, New York? He's a Scarborough man.
There you go. I have him in my golf pool.
It's Cameron Young.
Him.
It's only like a 2-hour drive between his hometown and Aronimink, Pennsylvania.
So you might know the course.
There you go. Aronimink is just outside of Philly. Let's go through. Excuse me. Getting emotional talking about Cameron Young. Since March of this year, Azzo, third place at Bay Hill for Cameron Young. He won the TPC. Third place at the Masters. Heard of the Masters? Finished third.
Little tournament.
He won Doral. And last year, he had 9 top 10s. Cameron Young is playing some good golf right now. And, you know, it's not the Masters. It's not the British. It's not the U.S. Open. One can argue it's the least stressful of the majors. Why not Cameron Young now to dip his toe into that I won a major water? Why not? Just throwing it out there. It's not some like back pocket sleeper pick. Cameron Young's been a great golfer for a while in the world of golf. But how about this weekend at the PGA Championship? I'm just saying. Hey, Azzo.
Seems like a very likable guy, too.
Oh, yeah. But
I love
solid.
him. That's why I picked him.
He speaks softly, but he carries a big iron. That's the kind of guy Cameron Young is. PGA Championship this weekend is going to be a lot of fun.
There you go. James in the chat says, oh, wait, sorry, wrong one. This thing's moving like crazy.
I know.
Cameron Young gave my son a signed golf ball at the Canadian Open last year, and his career took off. My son is taking all the credit for golf karma.
Nice job, James.
There you go.
Good job, James.
Thank your son, James.
The Canadian Open, where dreams come true. All right, so let's stay with the coaching thing, shall we?
Seems fitting.
It seems fitting. Because like we've already talked about, the Bruce Cassidy Oilers saga has taken a really weird turn to the point where Frege today is reporting they got no choice but to fire Knoblauch now.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous.
It's true, though.
It's 100%. I could see it happening for sure.
Well,
But the Oilers try to keep it quiet. They can't. They kept it about as quiet as a fart in a yoga class. And now it's everywhere. And the Golden Knights are like laughing because they've not only are they about to beat the Ducks in theory, because the Ducks the Ducks play bad hockey sometimes.
Yeah.
But like they're also throwing a wrench in the Oilers' plans. They're about to skunk 2 Pacific Division rivals in a week. So the Oilers asked for permission to speak to Bruce Cassidy. They weren't given permission. It leaked out. All hell has broken loose in Edmonton. And Knoblauch obviously now can't return, but like I thought it was a good time to revisit May the 2nd.
Can you also dive in how his extension hasn't kicked in yet?
Kris Knoblauch's extension hasn't kicked in yet.
Which is mind-blowing.
It starts next season. But the Oilers, this is the level of panic inside the Oilers organization. Guys, you know you're messed up right now when the Leafs look more level-headed than you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where we're at with the Leafs and the Oilers. Oiler fans have been laughing at the Leafs for like years, and I get it. Who's laughing now? You got 2 superstars who are pissed. One, if you traded him tomorrow, he might accept it. Stan Bowman has lost the plot. Knoblauch got fired while on Twitter on his couch yesterday, and he didn't even realize it. Where's Edmonton going? Hope Zach Hyman can carry you. And also there was a report from Saravelli. Evan Bouchard had a concussion for the back end of that series with the Ducks. So who knew about that? Evan Bouchard without a concussion is dangerous to have out there. You're not going to win. With a concussion, bad news. The Oilers are a joke. So I wanted to go back and just listen a little bit to May the 2nd, which was the Saturday the Oilers spoke after the season, to get an idea of kind of what people were saying then. And I don't think it's a surprise that they want to move on from Kris Knoblauch at all. But like I want to listen to this with you. This was May the 2nd, and the first question that was asked of Stan Bowman was Ryan Rishaug of TSN. And the first question, it wasn't Connor, it wasn't Draisaitl's health, it was Kris Knoblauch. Stan Bowman was squared up right away about his coach. Here's how it went.
Dive right in.
Sure.
Are you in position right now to confirm that Kris will be back next season as head coach? And what did you make of his performance this year?
When you don't have success, I think you have to kind of evaluate everything. So that goes for, my staff, coaching staff, players. That's what we're going to do over the next little bit. Like, it's only been 36 hours since we finished, and I think it's my job to, I'm sure people will evaluate me as well, and that's the way it goes in this business. It's a results business, and you have to see other things you can improve on, and you have impressions when the team doesn't succeed. Sometimes those are right, sometimes they're not right. So what you don't want to do is make quick decisions without really, part of it is we want to talk to the players, talk to the coaches, get their views, talk to my staff, and then kind of look at what actually happened. And like I said, we have impressions on why we didn't succeed, but you want to make sure that that's actually lining up with what actually happened. So today's not a day for making announcements like on anything, whether about players or any types of things like that. That's going to come in time. I think, here to talk about our season and answer your questions, but I don't have any announcements.
Yeah, today's not the day to talk about Kris Knoblauch, but there will be a day to quietly talk about him behind his back to other coaches.
Try and replace him without firing him.
Yes. Mike in the chat wrote Echo. Yes, Echo. It was a big room in Edmonton.
It hurts to listen to Stan Bowman sometimes.
Imagine playing for him.
I know.
Imagine not giving yourself a raise at all when you're the best player of your generation.
Yeah.
And Tristan Jarry walks through the room. Oiler fans, I don't want to hear it. Leafs are running a better operation than you right now.
It's true.
They're running a better operation, and they were a joke not that long ago. They're now 2 for 2. Yes, they won a damn lottery, to quote Brian Burke. He didn't say damn.
Multiple. The Leafs.
They won a GD lottery. But, I mean, clearly, clearly listening back to that on May the 2nd, Knobber was in trouble.
Joshua in the chat says, yeah, WTF happened to the Oilers organization.
That escalated quickly.
It really did.
That escalated quickly in Edmonton. So the one clip I haven't seen circulating a lot from that May 2nd day in Edmonton was Knoblauch himself. Because Draisaitl and McDavid took up most of the oxygen in the room. I'm going to play the Draisaitl here in a second. But Knoblauch was asked about the comment from McDavid that they were just an average team. And here's what Knobber said.
Got a roll going. We never got hot. Winning streaks of 3 and 5 are pretty pedestrian. So the fact that we weren't able to be an elite team during the regular season shows that we weren't a late team. I think we were constructed. I thought we could have made some noise in the playoffs, and I liked our lineup, but unfortunately we had some injuries that hindered us. But the expectations were very high, and anytime you have some of the best players in the NHL on one team, that happens. You look at the way we played all season, it was pretty average.
Mario in the chat. Next, Stan Bowman out. See, Kris Knoblauch slipped in the uncomfortable truth for the Oilers in that is relevant. Draisaitl, McDavid, hurt. So what are we doing here? Like, what are we evaluating? Because to me, that's code for talk to Bowman about the rest of the roster. That's how I read that from Kris Knoblauch.
For sure.
And if I'm fighting for my job, although, again, my 3-year extension hasn't kicked in yet, I don't think Knoblauch thought he was fighting for his job in that moment.
No kidding.
There's no way he would have thought that. Or he wasn't given any indication that was the case. But, I've never seen Kris Knoblauch, overly upset over anything hockey-wise in public. I'm sure he gets upset all the time. But, I would be throwing chairs around a room I was in if I found out on social media like that I was going to get let go.
100%.
I would. It is one of the most unprofessional things I've ever seen an organization do. And organizations have done some shady stuff. Shady stuff. That is a slap in the face to a coach that's been part of 2 straight Stanley Cup final appearances. I can't quite get over. I can't do it.
And there were times during the year, too. They filled out his coaching staff for him. They added some assistants Stan Bowman wanted in there.
Paul Coffey came back.
Right?
The good old days. Paul Coffey. Why not?
Handing him Jari so early in the season. And, I think there were times where Knoblauch fought that in the media, too, where he made it clear he'd rather ride Ingram.
I mean, the Oilers with Stan Bowman and Jeff Jackson running them right now deserve every crappy thing that's about to happen.
Can't argue that.
I can't believe that happened to a coach that's won a lot of games for you.
That's
a lot of games for you.
Won the conference 2 years before that.
Crazy.
Yep.
That's crazy. If you make great moves, this is a different discussion. This is a Bowman deal. And that rat bastard's running around trying to talk to Bruce Cassidy at every turn and getting denied and pulling a Pelly and having it leak immediately. By the way, Golden Knights, they leaked it.
Yeah, 100%.
Let's cut the crap.
Like they should.
And I'd have leaked it too.
Yeah.
In 3 seconds, I would have leaked that. Oh, what? I can make the Oilers look bad?
100%. By the way, I wanted to correct myself. You were right. Per Elliott, apparently on an Oilers podcast, said Kings also have not been given permission yet to speak to Bruce Cassidy.
In what world?
There were some reports that they had, but yeah, I guess I misremembered that. So,
Viper in the chat, that Jari trade was horrendous.
Well, that's the other thing, right? Your goalie can steal you some games. It was never happening in Edmonton.
It's good. They have to do it. That's part of the deal. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen stole them again last night in Montreal.
Bingo.
It's a normal course of action in the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
But to just say this is Knoblauch's deal is insane. That's insane.
It's insulting.
Oh my God. Connor, find a team. Go ahead.
And here's the other thing.
Find a team.
That's the other thing. You're putting Connor in the middle of all of it. He has to answer more questions on this between the two.
But to be fair, Connor and Draisaitl want the smoke.
Yeah.
To be fair,
But they're
I
okay with
don't
it.
care if they get criticized because they didn't care about anything in that season-ending event. Nothing. They didn't defend their coach.
No, but I mean throughout the season, like guys who are already tired carrying this team, you're making them deal with this now, being put in between Bowman. Everybody sees the conflict that's here. Everybody.
But they're welcoming. My point is, you're right. Like
At the end of the season,
they're welcoming the fight, though. Like the Leafs are, like it's very, very fascinating what's happening in Canadian hockey. The Leafs are doing everything in their power to shelter Matthews.
Agreed.
And in Edmonton, you have two of the best players of this generation go in front of mics going, everything sucks. And it's not my fault. Next question. It's wild. Now, if you're at a championship level, you get tired of certain things. I understand Draisaitl, McDavid getting that close to a Stanley Cup and getting a little impatient.
Hell yeah.
Completely understand. They're coming at it from different perspectives. But please do not tell me in terms of how fans are reacting, poor Connor, poor Leon. They have injected themselves into this.
But they have to too.
But they have to. But but how do you fix it is my problem. Like these moves by Bowman can't be undone.
Yeah, no, you're right.
How do you fix this in a year or two? It's technically not even 2 years. It's a year. Connor is not sticking around a contract year if the Oilers have any sense. And at this point, who knows if they do? I mentioned Draisaitl and McDavid injecting themselves into the conversation. We played the whole McDavid for you a while back here on the Sid Seixeiro Show powered by Sick Media. So you've heard McDavid. It was Draisaitl that took it to like a different level. Draisaitl was like begging the organization at the podium, do something. You know the meme of the guy kind of like taking a stick to a turtle and he goes, do something? That was Draisaitl. So again, I thought this was pretty damning again towards Knoblauch. Draisaitl and McDavid need to own it.
Mm-hmm.
They did not defend their coach in any serious way. Draisaitl multiple times actually throughout the year threw the coaching staff under a bus. His choice. He wasn't wrong. But spare me the poor players in the middle of this. They want to be in the middle of this. They want to be in the middle of this. It's a different vibe in Edmonton. They want to be in the middle of this. This quote is evidence that Draisaitl wants to be in the middle of this. For those who missed it, this was back on May the 2nd.
World, do you have the best player in the world on your team and you're not looking to win? Or you're like, and I know we're looking to win, but we need to be better. We have to be better. There's no way around it. We have to improve. And, you know, he's signed for 2 more years and God knows where that goes, but we have 2 years here right now. As of right now, we have 2 years and we have to get significantly better.
I have to be honest. I've never heard, like you and I, Azo, and everyone here in the chat and fans online and at home are listening to this. Like us having that kind of discourse is one thing.
Yep.
When your superstars are sounding the exact same way, panic has set in. And I have never heard a star at the end of a season beg. I've heard fans, I've heard media members to a certain extent, and I get it. When you have a former MVP,
True.
2 MVPs, basically saying the same thing at a podium and talking like a fan, that is uncharted territory to me. I don't know where you take that. And you know how some people internally have to take that? They panic too, and they say, we need to talk to Bruce Cassidy. That's it. And it all blows up in your face because you're incompetent. And I normally wouldn't say it like that, but Tristan Jarry tells me you're incompetent.
Yeah.
Giving Evan Bouchard that kind of money tells me you're incompetent. And again, I don't know where it goes from here.
Oh,
The assumption
I
that
got an update for you.
assumption that Bruce Cassidy wants the Oilers job though is an interesting assumption to me. Like you brought like what? Sorry, what did the Oilers do last season where Bruce Cassidy's like, that's where I should be? I don't. It's an interesting point.
Can I bring an
Yeah.
update for you?
Go ahead.
Check this out. From 10 minutes ago from Mark Spector. As of this moment, 11:37 a.m. Mountain Time, which is 1:37 here, Kris Knoblauch has not been fired by the Edmonton Oilers. We are expecting that to happen, however, likely by day's end.
Well, that's so kind of the Oilers.
I know. I'm taking your time.
That's so kind of the Oilers. Everyone's having a diarrhea panic meeting in a boardroom
kidding.
inside of the Oilers organization. They're like, how do we smooth this over? How do we smooth this over?
Well, you're going to look dumb either way now. Like his extension hasn't kicked in. You're cutting this guy off. You look bad either way. And to your point, I think Draisaitl has to stay because you see the public conflict between these two. You don't trust either side of them. You can't trust Bowman, and you can't really trust Knoblauch either because they're both fighting for themselves.
And now the hire you're going to bring in is just looking at next year anyway.
Yeah.
You're hiring a guy for 1 year.
Yeah.
This hire is not long-term. You're going to have to sign him long-term.
Yeah.
But it's not long-term. They're looking at 1 season. And maybe that is what Cassidy would like. I don't know. Maybe that's exactly up his alley. Sounds like it might be, but we're not sure. By the way, this is where Mark Spector thrives.
Yeah.
When he's in the right, and that Oilers organization's a joke. This is Spector Godzilla walking through the buildings, just crushing things. This is peak Spector, and I'm here for it.
Hell yeah. So it looks like we could be looking at something else happening today.
I can't say this strongly enough how unprofessional this is towards Kris Knoblauch.
Yep.
Who the hell do the Oilers think they are? That is crazy how he's been treated here. Be a man about it. Fire him after the year. Move on. Don't be a punk. Be a stand-up professional. Fire him and move on. I don't know if you could tell. Draisaitl, McDavid give 2 Fs right now how they look. They want to win. If they think Cassidy's the person, so be it. If it's someone else, so be it. But to have this linger is crazy. By the way, if and when Kris Knoblauch becomes available, how would he look behind a Leafs bench? Younger guy, a lot of experience.
Yeah.
Now, criticized heavily for also his rigidness by the end of the season in Edmonton. Special teams were a mess. And at times, it's a different type of system, but it is a type of system that hung the blue line out to dry a lot. A heavy offensive system where it was like, let's sell out. Berube's was different because his system was, let's get the puck in the forecheck. No one threw a hit. So different systems, both poorly executed. Do we rule out Knoblauch in Toronto?
I mean,
Rule
again,
him out?
I'm okay to talk to everybody, but
No, you talk to everybody.
Yeah, I don't know.
What if
it'd be
what
up
if the Oilers don't give you permission? What a dick move that would be. We're not going to give you permission.
It's true.
Unbelievable.
I mean, would he help Boston? I think so, but yeah.
I don't know if he'd help Boston. I don't know. Like this is a fascinating thing. And Jazz in the chat, Berube in Edmonton? Yeah, sure.
Imagine.
Sure. I just hate when organizations do this. When organizations mess around with kind of, players that you don't hear of a lot, who don't make a ton of money, and they bully them, and it's a part of the business. It's unfortunate, but it's part of the business.
You don't like when a franchise is unprofessional?
Towards a guy who went to 2 straight finals?
Who you just gave an extension to. Again,
you just gave an extension to.
You empowered him by giving him the extension. He could say whatever he wants this year because he knows his extension's kicking in next year. Of course he thought he was safe. The thing hasn't even kicked in yet. He could go publicly talk you down because he has 3 years owed to him.
Scott in the chat, Nobby? God, no. Knobber.
Yeah.
Knobber is the actual nickname.
It's true. Then there's some here. Eclipse J says Knoblauch is so unbelievably overrated.
There's a lot of people who believe that.
There's a lot of people who believe that.
Well, Woodcroft didn't get to a final.
True.
People tried with McDavid. People tried with Draisaitl. Not everyone got there.
Well, a lot of guys like Moose are saying, Bowman is the real issue here. And I kind of agree.
Well, I'm starting to think Jeff Jackson is a bit of an issue.
True.
Not everyone's Kent Hughes. I'm an agent. Give me the job. I know Connor. Give me the job.
Wow. Just bring all the guys in around.
Turning into a bit of an issue right now. The Jeff Jackson era in terms of what he's going to leave. It's going to be like some nuclear winter in Edmonton when McDavid leaves. What the hell's left? You're leaning on will Zach Hyman be healthy this year? That's what you're leaning on? Maybe Nugent Hopkins leads us this year. You're going to lean on that?
But
Good
when you're
luck.
bringing in guys to suffice one guy, or like it's all his guys, doesn't that just put more on his plate? Why do you want to do that? Just let the guy go do what he does. Understand a coach who can help him reach his potential or put him in the best spot to succeed. Like, why are you doing that to the guy? Because then you think it's because that guy's going to talk to him a lot. He doesn't need more on his plate. He's doing everything he can already. Anyways, we'll leave it with RJ Brando, who says that guy's a knob. No thanks.
I think he'll get a job though.
I do too. I mean, how can you not with the
Berube?
resume?
I'm not sure about. I'm not sure about Berube. Bruce Cassidy will work in this league next season. Kris Knoblauch
I
will
think
work
so,
in this
too.
league next season
With-
somewhere.
Like you said, with the
Somewhere.
resume, how do you not?
When I think Kris Knoblauch, I think Los Angeles.
Actually,
How about that?
that would be
How about that?
with Austin Matthews. Dun, dun.
But then the Oilers wouldn't let Pacific Division rival talk to the coach.
Right.
Watch this.
That would be amazing.
Watch this. We have 5 minutes. We need to acknowledge the Sabres got lucky as hell last night.
Yeah.
That stanchion move, that on the 2-2 goal with Dobish, and like the 1 for 7 on the power play with Montreal.
Yeah.
God, I don't like Zach Benson. He's a tough little player. He's starting to bother me. I watched that slew foot a couple of times on Charlie McAvoy.
I
McAvoy
know.
got 6 games for the hack,
Right.
and he should have. But that's a hack.
It was
That's well worth it.
warranted.
That was a cheap move from a dirty player in Zach
I
Benson.
agree with that.
I'm Zach. Take the first week and a half of the season off. You're fine. There's now 84 games. Who cares? Just relax to start next season. Charlie McAvoy.
I didn't show it. There it is.
All right. So for the listening audience, okay. So we're showing the moment where a puck crossed the goal line on Jakub Dobish to tie the game at 2 last night. Sabres and Habs are tied up at 2. Fluky goal from Tage Thompson, obviously. But I'm hearing no one suggest maybe Dobish should have hugged that post a bit more. Am I alone in this?
No, there was room there. I kind of thought it for a second too, but
Do goalies not hug posts anymore on
Yeah.
on
was it
dump-ins?
was it a bit of a weird bounce though? Like
No, it was of course it was a weird bounce, but like if he's hugging the post,
yeah,
I heard no one refer to that.
it's fair.
Forgive me, I didn't hear Kelly in intermission. I went over to the Jays to watch that disaster.
Yeah, we got to get to that quickly too.
No, let's hold no Jays. Let's not breathe because then we can dive into tonight.
And they get swept again.
Maybe. Jays are 18-24, but I did think Jakub Dobish, as well as both goalies played last night.
Yeah,
hell of a hockey game. As well as both goalies played, I thought Jakub Dobish could have gone a little tighter on that post, just
That's
a
fair.
little bit.
It's fair. I think it's fair.
But generally, again, I was curious how Martin St. Louis was going to react to that, because that's now the second straight series the Habs could have put their foot on the gas, and they could have taken a 3-1 lead on Tampa. Didn't do it at home. Could have done it last night on Buffalo. Didn't do it. The series now feels like it's even. Like Luke Schenn. Tampa once upon a time didn't play Luke Schenn in the first round, and then you couldn't get him out of the lineup, and Luke Schenn wins the Stanley Cup with Tampa. Lindy Ruff had a good night last night.
Did.
Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen was great. Luke Schenn in front of the net did a pretty good job. So it was a weird game, but it was a good game. After the game, Martin St. Louis was asked, what was the difference between games 3 and 4?
Fine line, right? Like they get a goal off the, the door there, or whatever, stanchion. Is that the difference? I don't know. I mean, I feel like, special team played a huge part. It's hard to believe that we only got 1 goal in the power play, because I felt like we had a lot of chances. You gotta tip your cap to the goalie. He played a good game. Dobes kept us in 2. Our start was not good, but I feel like after the goal disallowed, the challenge, I felt like we took the game over from that point on. We a lot of good stuff from that point on, but doesn't guarantee anything. But I liked our game.
I was really disappointed for the Habs last night.
Same.
A better team. Again, 1 for 7 on the power play.
Yeah, Buffalo was getting them the chances. It was ugly for the first 2 periods. 4 penalties in the first, 3 in the second for Buffalo?
That Caulfield power play goal, it's not like it was great.
No.
Like, that was Ukko's worst moment of the night. But again, it was a moment where you can get rid of them. You go up 3-1 at home, get rid of them. But Martin St. Louis, so far this postseason, has a pretty clear history of getting his team to focus up for that Game 5. And it's anyone's series. I have felt at times the Sabres had fraudulent vibes to them. But it's wild how good Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen was yesterday.
Was.
Because if he keeps that up, Dobich was great too. Stanchion aside.
Dobich off a loss. Come on.
Dobich off a loss.
They got this.
9.46 save percentage this postseason off a loss. Good point. Good point, Azzo.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. They still got
I'm
this.
still on Team Habs, but yesterday would have made it a lot easier.
That's true.
We're not going to talk Jays. I want to save this.
A little bit?
No. Let's wrap this up.
Andres Jimenez.
No.
Can I make a push?
Oh,
why wasn't he in the starting lineup yesterday? Can I ask you that?
Go ahead. You got
did you hear anything pregame? Like, it was his scheduled day off. The guy just came off his hottest night as a hitter. 2 home runs, first multi-hit game, had all 5 of your RBIs. Why was the guy not in the lineup for an everyday player?
Azzo, in defense of the Jays, Andres Jimenez had his 5th ever multi-home run game. Wait a second. That was his first. That was his best
and it's
ever offensive output. You're right.
And I'm so tired of not a full day off. If you're giving the guy a day off, give him a day off. He's an everyday player. I don't understand how he's not back in there.
Can I be brutally honest with you? I don't think John Schneider knows what he's doing. Sorry. I know that's a really blunt thing to say. The amount of times that lineup gets moved around for no reason is crazy.
And
guess what? When you had a secure top of the lineup last year, you played really, really well.
With maybe one swap here and there.
Maybe a 2-hitter here and there, but you knew who your 1-hitter was. You knew who your 3-hitter was. You knew who your 4th is. Even without
100%.
both, you had a 4th hitter that was consistent.
100%.
I completely agree with you on that.
I just had to get that off my chest because why? And then you say it's a day off. Even if it's a scheduled day off, I hate these scheduled days off because if a guy gets nicked up or banged up in another day, maybe that's when you give it to him.
Yep.
You ask the guy how he's feeling. He's coming off his hottest night at the plate. He usually plays every day for you. How do you pull him in this game when you're dying for offense?
I can't fight you on that.
I really want to play this clip I pulled from yesterday. I really want to play.
Hold it.
Because it has to do with the Vladdy. Can I say one thing about Vladdy?
Go ahead.
First at bat was atrocious. 3 straight pitches, swung at 2 out of the zone. His last 2 at bats showed a little bit of promise. Hit the ball hard a couple times, and he took a few pitches, some that he should have, some that he shouldn't. But I think he's starting to realize. And the other thing is all he needs is that one hit because that place is ready to erupt, especially when the game was on the line. If he could get one hit, I think it would bring him back because that dome was ready to explode yesterday.
You think Vladdy's a hit away?
I am.
From finding it?
He's starting to.
Really?
He's getting there.
Really?
The other thing is that, again, his first at bat last night was atrocious, and I think he realized it. His last 2 at bats, he hit the ball. He missed a few. They were hit foul, but he's starting to sting it. But that's why I want to. Oh man, this clip's so good. Okay, well.
Okay, how about this? How about this? Run the clip, but then give me the picture of Vladdy that I sent you.
Yeah,
from
for
last
sure,
night.
for sure.
Okay, so just I want to set this up before the setup. Azzo this morning said to me, he goes, there was a Tampa Bay coach on Blair and Barker yesterday that said something we need to listen to. So who is it, and what else do we need to know about the clip?
So it's Chad Montolo. Sorry,
Chad Montola. Okay.
Montola, who's their hitting coach.
Chad Montola.
He's their hitting coach. He was actually a teammate of Barker, so they had him on the show last night.
Okay.
And he acknowledged that their whole identity, and again, I said this last week, and Jamie and Caleb said it after the game, the Rays remind me a lot of the Jays last year. They rely on pitching and defense, but they do anything they can to score runs, right? They're aggressive with it. They run well. They do stuff. And Barker asked him a question about Junior Caminero, who I think got on a lot of people's radars at the WBC. How does he take it? Is there a next level for him offensively? And how does he get there? Listen to what Chad says about it, please.
It's one of these things that everybody talks about, this exit velocity and the things like that is all available, but we practice on slowing him down. If he hits the ball over 100 miles per hour in the cage, I kick him out. It's one of these things that if I could hit like him, I would probably want to hit it 115 every time. But, it's about slowing down. And it's one of these things that the more we get to work with exit velocity, we realize it's a false narrative because you're crashing, you're doing things that don't work in the game. So what he's learning is that slower is better and leaves that next gear available for the game. But it's a tough message to be convicted in, because if I could hit the ball like to him, I would want to do it every time and put on shows. And sometimes he gets carried away, rightly so, but it's just a reminder, hey, slow down. And the sky's the limit with him. I've never been around a talent like him before.
slow down.
Exit velocity is nothing. I'm tired about hearing about that with Vlad. That's an organization I trust. That's an organization who knows how to use the data. They're competitive every year. If he hits a ball over 100, tells him get out of the cage. That's amazing to me.
So I would consistently be kicked out of the batting cage because my velocity sucks.
See, but exit velocity doesn't mean it doesn't. It's a false narrative to this guy.
That's a hell of a clip.
Is it not?
That's a hell of a clip. Good thing you forced me to run it.
Yeah, no, I wanted to get it in case Vladdy somehow, because I do think he was stinging the ball at the end of it, but we'll see. I know he only has 2 home runs. He might be coming, like you said, we don't expect him to finish with 8.
Along those lines, Edward has an update. Vlad has only 2 more homers than Azo this season.
It's actually
well played. We'll play it, Ed.
Wait, are we talking softball?
Well played.
That would only be 1 more than me.
That's pretty good from yesterday. Here's my biggest issue from yesterday.
Yeah.
So the Jays, 5-run 7th inning out of nowhere. While things are really heating up in Montreal between the Habs and the Sabres, the Jays come back and tie the game up at 5, and then they lose. But the 5-5 moment was Vladdy grounding to third-ish. It was shading to short, but it was Junior Camanero's play. Caminero doesn't make the play. So it's, I don't know if he was given the error on the play. Should have been.
Should have. He wasn't good in the field.
But knowing the scoring at Toronto, they'll give Vladdy a hit for that. It's ridiculous.
Infield hits. That's what we're relying on now.
But Caminero kind of muffs it. 5-5. Show the picture of how Vladdy reacted at first. So, to the listening audience, this is what you're seeing. You're seeing Vladdy, 2 arms up in the air, staring up at Jesus as if they just won the American League pennant. Vladdy hit one that should have been dealt with defensively on the ground again. And we're now at the point where this is the celebration. And I have to be honest, when he hit the 7-6 sac fly in the bottom of the 10th to cut the lead to 7-6, he was super excited about it. Again, sac fly, line out to right. Not sure what the exit velocity was. I'm getting worried. I'm getting worried that this is now the bar. Now, some will say, Vladdy's just keeping it light and he's being ironical.
He's not, though.
I don't like that garbage on the field when you've been struggling. Springer's done this too, where you're struggling and you get a hit and you're like, don't do that. You're a professional baseball organization. Your job is to hit. Don't be grateful you hit. Don't be grateful a defender messed up something where you got to first.
You got on because of something.
These are not things to celebrate.
Agreed.
It's time to get serious. And something inside of me is stunned that the Jays still, even after last year, when they were that close to the Golden Fleece, still have a level of unseriousness to them. If they don't wake up in the next 5 days, the Yankees are going to boat race them next week. They better play well in Detroit this weekend. Because I don't know where this is going. But the body language generally, never mind the stats. What is Vladdy hitting 122 this month with no extra base hits?
Yeah.
Like, that's the stat. I hate what I'm seeing with the Jays generally. When the best thing I'm hearing from a coaching staff is on Blair and Barker's show from another team, you got a problem. And Schneider gets a lot of airtime on that show, and they treat him well. There's a level of unseriousness with this, and I don't understand where it's coming from. And I hope that changes. I hope that changes. Game ops, on the field, managing, the whole thing. You want one more, Azo?
Sure.
Give me the Yohendrick Pinango line from Schneider last night.
Yeah, got it.
Keep in mind, so Pinango got another hit yesterday. The guy that Schneider's talking about, Pinango, he sent down Saturday. Keep in mind, this same guy he's talking about was sent down because I got to keep Davis Schneider and that great defense. By the way, did you see him in left field last night?
I did.
Sure, great defense. They sent this guy down Saturday. This is Schneider talking about him yesterday.
I've been impressed with his command of the strike zone. and if you do that coupled with his swing, you're going to put yourself in a pretty good spot. So hopefully he can keep it rolling. You know what I mean? It's early, however many at bats it is, 30 something, but I really like what he's doing, and he's not scared of any situation. And, sometimes when guys come up, they see big league pitching and they get a little bit deterred. And I think he's doing the opposite right now, which is really good.
I like him so much, we had to send him down Saturday.
Well, it's not like offense is their problem. Guy's hitting. Oh man, he was the staff or the broadcast team was more excited he was coming up rather than Vladdy. They're like, well, one person gets on,
Wow.
Penango comes up when Vladdy's right after. He's the guy who got them back into that game with that hit. Yes,
And technically, in that 7th inning, Vladdy had nothing to do with it.
nothing. I agree.
I think it's a good place to end it for this reason. Let's full circle it and wrap up the show.
All right.
Craig Berube today was fired with a lot of money left on his deal. Anyone in the Toronto sports scene, and Rogers is basically running the whole deal with Ed and Tony. Today was the message. Don't get comfortable. The bar is way higher than it used to be. I welcome it. And that Bush League AAA stuff with Schneider has to stop. I don't care if you just got an extension. People in Edmonton don't care if Kris Knoblauch got an extension. The pressure to compete and win has never been as great. There are billions on the line in TV contracts and ratings. Billions. And I think for the Toronto sports fan, it might be a great thing. Because one will affect the other. Anyone in Toronto who's pulling this amateur hour stuff, that includes Ross, Shapiro's fine, but I'm talking Ross and Schneider, better watch their back. Craig Berube thought he was safe. Brad Treliving kind of thought he was safe. Hell, Keith Pelly thinks he's safe. Look out for that. No one is safe with term on their contract right now. And I think that's an important development in the Toronto sports scene and one that will serve it well. Mistakes will get made. It happens. But just sitting back and watching garbage take place because someone has 2 years left on their deal, game over. And there are people in the Jays organization that need to wake up. Last year was fun. It's done. Last year's over. You have no track record of that over a series of years. There are people who think that was a fluke. And you're not proving them wrong. This is a good day for Toronto sports fans. I wish Craig Berube well. I got fired once. It's not fun. Not fun. Those of you having a good time with it online, stick it. You're immature and you're dumb. But big picture in terms of what's accepted in this town, big day today. Big day. And we'll see what happens. Anything else, Azo?
Shut up. We gave the bat about Montreal. What about the Victoire? Winning the first all-Canadian PWHL final.
The Montreal Victoire against a diseased Minnesota Frost team. They were sick. They had to delay the game.
It's true.
Ottawa Charge.
One day.
Montreal Victoire. Let's go. Walter Cup. The Walter Cup stays in Canada.
And New Day.
Let's go.
Tempo get their first win tonight. I'm going to be there. Let's go.
Azo's going to the Tempo game.
I can't
tonight.
wait. I'm excited.
Seattle Storm.
Yeah.
Let's listen. Let's get out, run in transition. You know, they've only played with each other for like a month.
Sure.
But let's let other people have the ball. Let's run a little more in transition tempo. Now you start to play Coach Rondello's game. Yeah. Now we do that. Okay. That's it.
That's it.
I have nothing else.
It's a good day.
We should get to Alphonso Davies tomorrow.
Yeah, we definitely need
Something's
to.
happening online.
You
I
had
don't
this
like.
yesterday, and it's building up.
Something's happening online with Davies with a report out of Germany we need to address.
Tomorrow for sure.
We need to address.
After we talk about Knoblauch being let go.
All right. By the way, you had the sausage at the hot dog vendor.
I got an update with that too.
Can you give me a 30-second update on the sausage?
Pretty good.
How much was it?
It's very good. It's kind of expensive.
How much was it?
$8.
My Lanta.
I know. More expensive than downtown. In downtown by the Dome.
No,
it was pretty good.
I'll take the hot dog.
It was pretty good.
Done. I'll take the hot dog. All right. On behalf of Jeff Azzopardi and everyone here at Sick Media, my name is Sid. You've been watching and listening to the Sid Seixeiro Show, powered by Sick Media. Enjoy the rest of your day, unless you're Kris Knoblauch. Let's see what tomorrow brings. Take care. We'll talk soon.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sid Seixeiro Show on YouTube, X, Instagram, Facebook, and wherever you get your podcasts.